it loaded, keep it loaded, keep it loaded. Better nice, I'm looking at the camera. Better nice, good, good, good. Preloaders, V.I.Preloaders, welcome back to the channel, guys. Always a pleasure to have you guys here with me, and you notice by now, or at least you should, for those of you that have never been to this channel before, welcome to you as well. My name's Robert. I'm a retired NYPD Highway Patrol motorcycle lieutenant, and the name of this wonderful channel is Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle. I know I'm putting this video out way after this happened, but the time that I'm doing this video, 2 days ago, there was a hurricane that hit Florida, and we felt the effects of it here in Georgia. It wasn't a hurricane by the time it got here, but it was still, you know, some high winds. It was a tropical storm. I lost power. I got my power back pretty much the same day that it went out, but it was out for about 14 hours. And right now, there are a lot of people that still don't have power. So again, having no power, it is an inconvenience and it's a safety thing as well. But let's keep in mind, people lost their lives with this storm. People lost their homes. So before you complain about not having power, just keep that in mind. I say this at the end of every video. Spend more time being thankful for the things that you have and less time complaining about the things that you don't. And I get it, guys. I know that it's very difficult in times of stress or anything like that, anything negative, to think about positive things. But that's why you have to concentrate on that. Like as soon as you want to complain about something, just think about how many people would trade places with you, right? All right, that's all I'm going to say about that, guys. But I hope everybody well. I wish everyone well. And my condolences to anybody that lost family members or friends or anything like that. It's just, you know, that's all I'll say about that, guys. All right, guys, I want to welcome you to practice session number 117. I'm out here in Pooler, Georgia. So I'm all set up out here, guys, for the practice session. And if you're new to this channel, guys, yeah, I do practice sessions, not only here in Pooler, Georgia, but I travel as well. I'm coming near the end of the year now, but I'm pretty sure I'm still going to try to make it to some areas where they ride all season long, just like we do here in Pooler, Georgia. I'm working on Las Vegas. I'd like to get out to Arizona, you know, a few places like that. And for those of you that don't want to come out and practice in a group environment, I also do private lessons. And same thing, I do them here in Pooler, Georgia, or I'll travel. Go to my website, click on where it says private lessons, and you'll get more information on that as far as the stipulations and the limitations of those private lessons. Also, if you ever want to know where I'm going to be as far as my practice sessions, same thing, go to my website, click on where it says upcoming events, and you'll see everything you need to know right there. All right, guys, as always, this is an each one, teach one environment. When I'm here in Pooler, Georgia, my V.I.Preloaders practice here for free. If you're interested in more information on becoming a V.I.Preloader, I'll put a video up here as well. And we're all out here to learn, to have fun. It's an each one, teach one environment. There's no pressure out here. There's no arrogance. There's no judgment. There's zero negativity on this channel. It's just not going to be tolerated. Why? Because I don't tolerate it, and it's my channel, right? But I realized over the last, coming up on 4 years now, that you attract what you are. So that's why there's so many phenomenal people in Preloader Nation, because you attract what you are. All right, guys? All right, when the V.I.Preloaders get here, I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to find out who they are, what they're riding, how long they've been riding, more important to me, how long they've been practicing slow speed riding, and what they rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, in slow speed maneuvers. If they're still here at the end, I'll ask that question again to see if there's any change in the number. And sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down, sometimes it stays the same. Again, that's on them. It's their number. And just to give them a bar of where they are, and small steps, guys, baby steps, small victories. That's what we're looking for out here. All right? All right, guys, let's do it. What's your name?
Mark.
Where are you from, Mark?
I'm from New Jersey. Just recently moved here.
Yes, yes, yes. Enjoying this great weather?
Love it.
How long have you been riding a motorcycle?
Since I was a teenager.
What are you riding today?
2014 Kawasaki Voyager.
Nice. How long you been practicing slow speed riding?
Technically, this is my 6th class with you.
Okay, but you definitely practice in between.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
I already know the answer to that. I'm asking that for you guys because that's important. You can't just practice with me and then don't do anything. It's so perishable. I can't overstate that. It's so perishable. If you had to give yourself a rating 1 to 10, 10 being the best slow speed, what would you give yourself?
I would say maybe a 5 now.
Okay, I still think that's low.
Thank you.
All right, man. What's your name?
Kent moves on.
Where you from, Kent?
Charleston, South Carolina.
How long you been riding a motorcycle?
About 20 years.
What are you riding today?
2020 Ultra Limited.
Nice. How long you been practicing slow speed riding?
A couple years.
If you had to give yourself a rating 1 to 10, 10 being the best slow speed, what would you give yourself?
Oh, probably about a 5.
5.
Yeah.
Good to see you again, brother.
Thank you.
All right. All right. What's your name?
Jerome Cage.
Where you from, Jerome?
Jerome, I'm from Mobile, Alabama.
Okay. How long you been riding a motorcycle?
Probably less than a year.
What are you riding today?
I'm riding a 22 Electra Glide,
Nice. Police.
Police Edition.
Yes. How long you been practicing slow speed riding?
Probably since I bought my bike on Father's Day, so since Father's Day.
Okay. If you had to give yourself a rating 1 to 10, 10 being the best slow speed, what would you give yourself?
Well, probably a 3.
Good to see you, brother.
Yes, sir.
What's your name?
Michael Turner,
Where you from, Mike?
New York City.
How long you been riding a motorcycle?
20-something years, 30 years.
What are you riding today?
BMW R1200 RTP.
Guys, I'm telling you now, whenever you watch this guy stop, the first exercise we're gonna do, ding, like I say all the time, smooth as butter. I hope I'm not jinxing you.
I
Anyway,
think you might be.
how long you been practicing slow speed riding?
Last few years, but I don't do it very much between sessions.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately.
Yep, that's the guy that's gonna make you annoy you. If you had to give yourself a rating 1 to 10, 10 being the best slow speed, what would you give yourself?
Probably between 6 and 7,
Okay.
maybe.
Good to see you again,
Maybe that's
brother.
too optimistic. Good to see you. Thank you.
No,
for
it's
having me.
not. It's not. It's not. You're good, man. All right, guys, we're gonna get started. We got 1 through 9 out here. A bonus. Maybe it follows the leader. We'll see. It's gonna get hot out here. But either way, let's do it. Good morning. Good morning. We got some no-shows today, so somebody might show up late. All right. I'm gonna be very impressed if you get this. Welcome to practice session number
116.
Not even a clue.
117. You were close. Yeah, 117. The rookie almost got it. If this was the Price is Right, he would have been the closest without going over.
Right.
All right, anyway, welcome back to all of you. Actually, everybody's been here before except Jerome, so welcome. Anybody got a problem being on YouTube?
No.
Beautiful. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is cover the basics. You know what? I know obviously you're subscribed. Do you know what preload and keep it loaded means? Oh yeah. Do you know what the friction zone is?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know the push-up penalty out here?
No.
Okay. You squeezed that front brake today because you were killing that front brake yesterday.
Yeah.
So good. You squeeze that front brake today while you're in the slow speed maneuver. That's a 10 push-up penalty. I don't expect to see you doing push-ups out here. It's not about that.
Right.
It's just it's something to. We're out here to break bad habits and instincts, right? Those things are deep rooted in us. So it's going to take time. But push-ups is something to discipline us. If I'm trying to not do something, I'm going to give myself a penalty. So you don't ever have to do them. It doesn't matter how you do them. Some people do them and record it and send it to me. And now that you're a V.I.Preloader, if you do that, it goes at the beginning of the next practice session video as a disciplined V.I.Preloader.
Got it.
It is what it is. That's firstly. Secondly, we're not duck walking today. 1 foot or 2. Now, listen, keep this in mind, guys. When I say that, this is not the military. So when I say that, I'm not expecting you to do stuff I'm asking you to do. When people ask me, how are you so patient? That's part of it. I'm not expecting you to do it. If you do it, great. If not, it's right where I expect it. Also, if I ask you to give me 3 things, I'm expecting 2. If I ask for 2, you're going to give me 1. I'll explain that more as we go on. So if I say we're not duck walking, that's fine. I want you to have in your mind, I'm not going to duck walk this bike. I expect you to do it because that's what you're accustomed to doing. But every time your foot touches the ground, that's 10 push-ups. So you take 5 steps, 50 push-ups, okay? That's what the push-up penalty is. That's what the push-up penalties are. Okay, there he is. The locals are always late. Now he just moved here from, I think, Jersey. Smooth stop. Nah, I'll take it.
Morning, sir. Sorry.
Good morning, man. You're good. You're good. He gets a pass, man. He's got the Indy Ridge boots. He's got the tab performance. He's good. He's good.
I told him to work. Killing me today.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. All right. So yes, we'll talk about preload and keep it loaded. I'm going to get up to that. All right. So let's start here, because this is where we have to start. What keeps the motorcycle upright at slow speeds? All the questions are coming to you today, for the most part. I'm going to go to Kent too, because Kent hasn't been here in a while.
Again, power to the rear wheel, right? It's friction in the zone.
You like that answer?
Say it again. I said power to the rear.
He said power to the rear wheel.
Yeah. Is the question. I guess that's
The question is, what keeps the motorcycle upright at slow speeds?
power to the rear wheel. Yeah.
Power of the rear wheel.
Yep. Sufficient power to the rear.
There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Sufficient power to the rear wheel.
Sufficient
It has, yeah, because it has to be sufficient. So one thing I'm going to tell you guys today is, your bike is still on. I've realized that when it comes to people riding their motorcycles, especially when we're doing slow speed maneuvers, if they don't need the power, they pull the clutch all the way to the grip. And then when they need the power, now they have to go find it. That searching of power is a waste of time. And so what happens is, usually if you're going back into the friction zone, it's because you feel the bike falling. So that's a good thing. You know that's the answer. I need to get sufficient power. But as you're searching, the bike is still falling. So if by the time you find the friction zone, oh, there it is, it's not sufficient at that point, because now the bike is over this much. Right. And that's why it still falls. Right. So the power has to be sufficient. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do today is find out where your friction zone starts. Slowly start opening your clutch until you feel the bike start to move a little bit. And then pull the clutch right before that. And that's where I want you to live today, for the most part, if you're in the middle of doing stuff. Because that way, when you need power, boom, it's right there. You don't have to search for it. Who here loves making U-turns besides this guy? He went like this. And besides this guy too. Do you guys, you do too.
I'm starting. So.
Yeah, you're starting. Okay. How about you? Do you love making U-turns? Not really. Okay. So with that being said, the thing that everybody shares, and I'm talking about motorcycle riders, the thing we share is, when it comes to slow speed riding, is the fear of falling. So I want to get this right out the way and let you guys know that everything that we're doing today, none of this is rocket science. Like I'm not going to tell you some magic formula today to follow to get this to work. Throttle, clutch, rear brake. That's it. No matter who talks to you about this, that's the way it is. The thing that's holding us back is fear. So I always say we're going to be in our feelings today, right? And when I say that, I mean it two ways. Emotionally, the fear, and physically, what we feel on this motorcycle. And what we feel, we need to address it. And if we address the feeling, of course, I'm not talking about love. I'm talking about the feeling of falling. If we address that feeling as soon as we feel it, you're still going to get a little bit of a pucker effect until you don't. It's a bigger pucker effect if you don't address it as soon as you feel it. All right? What we have to do out here is normalize the feeling that you despise. That's why this is so difficult to get, right? It's like me telling, hey, Ken, you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Today you're going to be left-handed. Work on it. That's what this is like, right? Because everything that we're doing on these bikes it goes against our hardwiring, right? If we feel falling, I would put our foot out. No, we're not doing that today. It's going to cost us push-ups, right? All right. Keep all of that in mind. So we know sufficient power to the rear wheel is what keeps the bike up. What does your motorcycle want to do with power to the rear wheel?
Stand up.
Stand up and go straight, right? Sufficient power keeps it up. With power, it wants to stand up and go straight. What does it want to do with insufficient power to the rear wheel at slow speeds?
Of course, it just want to lay down.
It wants to fall. Okay. Thank you for becoming a V.I.Preloader. That's today's lesson. If only it could be that easy, but so we have to ingrain this in. The normalization that I'm talking about, as far as the feeling that we need to make normal, that falling feeling is never going to feel normal until it does feel normal. And the only way that's going to happen, we have to practice. So the same guy, me, on that airplane riding as a passenger for the first few times, and it takes off and does that dip. Oh my God, in my brain, we're going down. But now if I get on the plane, I still feel that, but my brain doesn't register it as an oh shit moment. It's normalized now. That's how we got to get you on your motorcycle. And yesterday when we were at that rodeo and there were certain things that we were doing, we were at Savannah Harley Davidson yesterday. They had a little rodeo. And some of those patterns I had, that I was doing, man, oh man, you have to lean the crap out of that bike to do it. But that's the way I ride anyway. So it's normal for me. But again, that stuff's extreme. All right. So I do want you guys to know that we don't do this to be in a competition, but some people do. But keep in mind, no matter what level of riding that you choose to do after this, it always comes back to this. And that's what I mean. It's like if I go, when I was in motor school, first of all, I wish my motor school was like this. I would have got it way quicker, right? Way quicker. But nothing that they're doing is something different than this. It's just practicing it and practicing it to the point where when you have to do things, you just do them, right? All right. So the first thing we're going to talk about, which is what I was talking about when Mr. Smiley here pulled up, is coming to a smooth stop on the motorcycle, right? Before we talk about that, we got to cover the first 5 steps. Definitely. 5 steps before you move that motorcycle today, all of yous. Now, some of you might not do it. I know he's not going to do it every time. Well, yeah, he doesn't do it sometimes. I'm talking about as far as making sure it's in first gear, whatever. I understand that. When you get to a certain point, you don't have to do it. The purpose of the steps is because I find that when people are trying to figure this out, when they don't follow the steps, stuff goes wrong, right? But once you got it, you got it. What's always step number 1? You said you've been watching the channel how long?
I browse it. I don't know how.
Okay, there we go. You're a browser.
I can't tell you how long it's.
Gotcha.
I'm always on your channel, so.
Okay, appreciate that.
Yeah.
You're going to watch differently now. Shit, I know one video you're going to watch in its entirety. This one, because you're in it. What's always step number 1?
Put in first gear.
Make sure the motorcycle's in first gear. Now, I used to go through all of these steps, and then I would find that people would just learn them and memorize them, and then when they came here, I got it. But if I asked them why they're doing it, they didn't know. So now we have to go over that because I need you to know why that's important. Why is making sure the motorcycle in first gear important? Well, you're going to learn that as you practice on these motorcycles, the options that you have out in the real world are going to change. They're going to grow. Because without this skill and this knowledge, your tool belt's empty. So when something happens out there, squeeze and hope for the best is the only option. Now that's emergency stuff. The other stuff where you don't have options are simple things like you pull in a gas station, this pump's down. I got to go to this pump. Damn it. Like a U-turn shouldn't be a damn it moment, right? If the way you start your motorcycle, you always have 2 feet out and you keep the feet out until the bike starts to move. If you're in 4th gear, that's not a big deal because you're going to feel it doesn't have power. Your feet are already out, so you can just touch the ground and stop. But once you get more comfortable on these motorcycles and your options change, if Kent's motorcycle is right here and that motorcycle is right there, and I say, hey, Kent, do me a favor, bring your bike over here. What's Kent's option? What's your option? Your option, without me even asking you, is you're either going to back your bike up or you're going to turn the handlebars and you're going to duck walk the bike. Those are your options. And in both of those options, it doesn't matter if your bike's in 4th gear. My option is I'm going to turn my handlebars and right from here, I'm going to open my clutch and start leaning the bike right from here. If I'm in 4th gear, my bike's going to drop. So that's why it might not seem like it's important, but it will be. Make sure it's in first gear, wrong foot. Make sure it's in first gear. Come across, step number 2, cover the rear brake. Why do we cover it? We cover it because today we're going to be slow dancing with these motorcycles. The goal is to be smooth in all of your inputs into the motorcycle. But I do recognize that when you're trying to figure this out, trying to be smooth, that ain't going to happen. Everything's going to be kind of herky-jerky, and that's fine. All right? But we cover the rear brake so that if we need it, we're less likely to smash at it, right? Gentle pressure is all I want on the brake today, guys. Smooth, gentle pressure. Step number 3, preload and keep it loaded. Preload is referring to the throttle. You're preloading it by bringing the RPMs above idle. Because right now, these motorcycles idle like this. What's going to happen if you just open your clutch without any throttle? No, it's going to stall. Yeah, you open the clutch without a throttle, it's going to stall. So we have to raise the RPMs above idle. Because the reason it's stalling is because the motorcycle's asking for power. There's not enough to give, so it shuts down. So we have to raise the RPMs because it's going to go down regardless. So when you raise your RPMs, don't just give me a little. Don't give me a whole lot either. I like to be at about 2,000. It could be 21. I don't care. Listen to it. I want you to listen to it because the sound is what's important, not the number. Well, the number is important, but I don't want you looking at the number. Look at it the first time. Get accustomed to what it sounds like. That's where you want to be. preload the throttle, and keep it loaded means that once you're moving, I'm talking about if we're going to do slow speed maneuvers, now we have to keep that elevated, right? I don't want it to be at idle. Can I do this at idle? I could, but I'm always nervous it's going to cut off because it's a blip, blip, blip. So preload and keep it loaded. Listen to it, okay? That's what preload and keep it loaded is. That's step number 3. Step number 4, slowly release the clutch into the friction zone. Slowly release the clutch because we want to take off nice and easy. Speed is not your friend out here. We're out here to ride slow, 1 to 10 miles per hour, sometimes very slow. And there's going to be times out here where you guys are going to be going 5 miles per hour, and I'm going to tell you, you're going too fast. What? Depends on what we're doing. If you're doing exercise number 4, 5 miles per hour is too fast. All right? We'll talk about that. And then lastly, step number 5, as soon as the bike starts to move, your foot comes off the ground. Vertically, not like this. As soon as it starts to move, pick your foot up. All right, let's talk about open close. Open close is referring to the clutch. Now, step number 4 is slowly release the clutch so that you can start out smoothly. But sometimes that's not going to work out. How relevant is your balance to keep the bike up at slow speeds? 100's a lot, 50's in the middle, 0's none. If you don't understand the question, ask me to rephrase it.
70, I guess. I don't know.
70.
0.
Kent?
50. 0.
0%.
0.
It's 0 because the first thing we talked about is what keeps it up, and we said sufficient power. It's a gyroscopic machine. Your personal balance is irrelevant. You could pass out on the bike. If the power stays sufficient, the bike will stay up. So let's get that myth out of the way. Now, the motorcycle's balance is something different. It's on 2 wheels, so the slower you go, the more it wants to fall. That's why people's feet stay out until they speed up. All right, I feel comfortable now. I can pick my foot up. We're here to be the boss. And the boss, heavy is the head that wears the crown. The highest level of responsibility is on the boss, and that's you with the bike. If speed's behind you, your level of responsibility goes down because you're letting the bike be responsible for it staying up. So I say all of this to say, when we slowly release the clutch into the friction zone, sometimes if you open the clutch up very slowly, immediately your handlebars start turning. What's happening if my handlebars start turning and I'm not intending to turn them?
You will drop.
That's exactly. That is the start of a fall. So that's what I mean. That's why we have to have these conversations so we can recognize stuff that's happening in real time and address it. So if my intention is to go straight, I open up my clutch, my handlebars are turning. What do I need to do? Open up my clutch some more, right? Because this is always going to fix that. What does it always want to do with power? It wants to go straight. That was my intention, but the bike's turning. But if I open up my clutch as soon as I feel it, that's the most you'll see it. I'm out here sometimes with people with private lessons. I see it and it just keeps going because they never address it. Or it falls. That's when they got scared and just pulled the clutch all the way in. So in that case, if it just keeps turning but it doesn't fall, what that's showing me is they're in the friction zone, but it's not sufficient. That's why the power has to be sufficient because I know they want to go straight, okay? So that's why we want to be right before the friction zone. So in step number 4, when it's slowly release the clutch into the friction zone, if the moment ever comes where you don't want to feel the bike start to fall, just do an open close. Now this comes in usually when you're in a confined space, which we're going to be when we do that. When you don't have a lot of space, you're going to have to stop soon. You don't have space for the bike to start turning, so you're going to do an open close. And that means open your clutch and close it right back. Doing that, just that little motion will pick the bike up past that falling feeling. Open, close, and now you're good, right? We'll talk about that more, but I want you to think about that. And I also want you to keep in mind a lot of the stuff some of the stuff that we're talking about today, it's not going to always be relevant every time you ride. But it is always it's always there. That's my point. It's a tool in your tool belt. Because again, when you get out there, when certain things come up, I'd rather have 5 different things I can do rather than 1. And the one thing is, I hope everything works out. All right? Simple as that. Okay. So with all that being said, we're going to talk about stopping. Now, when I told Bill to come up here, you want Bill or William? When I told Bill to come up here and I told him smooth stop, smooth stop. What Bill did was he kept that speed pretty high. High for me out here for this thing. Most motorcycle riders will stop like that because I want to keep speed as long as possible because I don't have to worry about doing anything. Stopping a motorcycle is not just stopping a motorcycle. If you think back to yesterday's rodeo, there were some people that were pretty good out there stopping. Riding and doing that course. But when it came time to bringing that bike to a stop, only 2 people out there looked good. I'm not counting myself. Finesse and Riding the Wrench and Mike, because they practice this. And they understand that when it's time to stop a motorcycle, it's not just out of speed. So, stop. And because he has that extra speed, when he was ready to stop, the front suspension compressed and his foot actually ended up behind him, right? All of that becomes more difficult to do smooth with speed. So what do we have to add? At the end of that stop, and again, this is one of those things I was talking about where it's not going to always be relevant that you need this. If you're coming to a stop and at the end of that stop, Kent, you feel your handlebar starting to, you're feeling that falling feeling coming. How are you going to address that?
Add a little revs to your engine.
That's one part of it.
Yeah.
That's one part. Remember, revs to the engine don't give you power. Clutch does.
Okay, open up the clutch then.
Exactly. What else are you doing at the same time? Because you're stopping.
Now you're braking, applying your rear brake.
That's right. So that's what you need to do. You need to apply the rear brake. Well, first, what Kent, he said it in the right order. Yeah. 3 comes before 4. We're never going to open up the clutch without preloading the throttle first. Right. So most people, when they come into a stop, I don't need the power. I pull the clutch all the way in. That's fine. And sometimes you can keep it all the way in because the balance of the bike just happened to work out where I can still stop smooth. But when you start feeling this, you need to preload the throttle, open up the clutch a little bit, and at the same time, you're braking. Brake. In the friction zone. You stay in the friction zone until you put your foot down. And then you pull the clutch in. I'm going to show you guys a demonstration of all of this stuff. Because I want to put this all together and make this make sense. Let's keep this in mind too. Let's say there's 5 stages of the friction zone. I want you to keep this in the back of your mind. That way when I'm yelling out numbers to you today, you know what the hell I'm talking about. 5 stages of the friction zone. Stage 1 is when you open up your hand and the bike starts to move. That's stage 1. The stages go up the more you open your hand, self-explanatory. So here's what I'm going to say to you. No, there's not technically 5 stages. I made this up to make it make sense. If you're in stage 1, 2, or even 3, and you're on the rear brake at the same time, it's fine. If you're in stage 4 and 5, too much. You're making the bike fight. Because the rear brake and power to the rear wheel work together in harmony to keep this bike upright. Power keeps the bike up, so that's what we have to understand. We don't need speed. We need sufficient power. But with that sufficient power, it might make me go too fast. That's where the rear brake comes in. And we are lightly dragging the rear brake. Well, Rob, how do I know if I'm in a stage that's too high? Here's what you do. When you start moving slowly, open your clutch into the friction zone. You could be on the rear brake too. Now, at some point, take your foot off the rear brake. If your bike goes like this, you're in too high of a friction zone. You're in stage 4 or stage 5, which means when you were braking, you're making the bike fight. When you come off of the rear brake while you're in the friction zone, the bike should have very little difference because we're just shaving off speed. We're not trying to make the bike fight, right? Picking up what I'm putting down? All right, beautiful. So when you're coming to this stop, remember the slowest your motorcycle is ever going to go is the end of a stop, the beginning of a start. So when I'm coming to a stop, I might not need any clutch. It's in. As I go slower, I start to feel this. I preload, I go into stage 1, and I'm braking. Stage 1 is still working. But the slower I go, the bike might start feeling like it wants to fall again. As soon as I feel that, 1.5. Still braking. 2 even. Still braking. Smooth stop. Now I pull the clutch in. Your goal all day today is when you stop, to stop like, you'll see. I want your foot coming down like this. That's what I want. Or in stride, heel toe. Heel toe helps people because it helps with the coordination. Again, I don't want your foot coming down twice. I don't want it coming down and ending up behind you. When you start to move, I don't want your foot behind you. We already talked about that. I want it smooth. Now, it's not going to always be like that. I understand that. But what I want you to feel is when it doesn't, and when it's not smooth, I want you to be like, damn it. And I want you to know why it wasn't. If you stop and the bike, if your foot does this, no good. The bike was falling. That means that you had the clutch, you pulled it in too early or you didn't have it out enough. All right? And it's that simple. If the bike's leaning even a little bit, that's letting you know it was starting to fall. Your goal is to stop with the bike straight up. I'm gonna talk about Mike again, man. It looks different because his bike's higher up. So when he brings his foot down, it's coming from higher up. It's like this. it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to see. All right, listen, I'm gonna get on my bike and I'm gonna show you guys something. Let me move this camera back because this is important that I want you to see. Okay, I'm gonna put some stuff into perspective with the demonstration. From here, I'm gonna start my motorcycle. I'm gonna turn to the left. I'm gonna make some U-turns with the bike straight up. Then I'm gonna let the bike lean into those U-turns. Then I'm gonna come back straight up. Then I'm gonna come in front of you and I'm gonna come to a smooth stop. The whole time I do that, my clutch is gonna be in the same position. A lot of people, we overthink this, and I see people out here all the time. I see the clutch hand doing this. You don't ever want to see this, because if your clutch is doing this, your bike's doing this. If I find a good spot in the friction zone, all I'm going to do is hold it there and use my rear brake to control my speed. So when I'm straight up, I'm going to be giving a little bit more pressure on it. If I go to lean, I'm just going to take some pressure off the brake so that I can speed up for that lean, and vice versa. When I slow down, put some more pressure. But again, I'm not in a high enough stage that the bike's fighting. Now, in a situation like this, if I'm in front of you and I need to make a turn, this ain't the time for me to feel falling. So what I'll normally do is I'm going to start already applying pressure to the rear brake, and I'm going to open the clutch to maybe a stage 2, because again, I don't even want to give the bike a chance to feel like it's falling. So as soon as it picks up, I feel it pick up, because again, that first initial open close is just to get the bike to pick up. As soon as I feel that, I counter it with the rear brake, and now I'm good. I can pull the clutch in a little bit. I don't need to stay in 2, but it's not going to kill me if I am in 2. Remember, 1 through 3, we're fine. First gear, cover the rear brake, preload. I'm starting on the brake, so let's say I'm turning. Clutch, foot up. All right, so now I'm good. I like that. Take my foot off. See, no big difference. All right. So I'm going to slow myself down. Clutch is in the same spot. If I want to lean, take my foot off the brake, put it back on to slow me down. So it's just slowing me down. If I take my foot off, see, a little bit faster. I don't want to go that fast. Clutch is in the same spot. Come to a stop. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Now I pull the clutch in. I'm in the same spot in the friction zone the whole time. So a lot of times when I'm doing these exercises, if I find that spot, I just stay there. I don't have to be playing with the clutch. So anybody that says, oh, the rear brake is a crutch, that's that arrogance again. Some people might use it that way, but if you overuse it, I'll let you know. And if you keep overusing it, I just take it away until you don't use it at all, because I don't need to use it. But the rear brake gives us correction and control. So can I do that same thing with no rear brake? But I'm making small changes with the clutch. Pull it all the way in, see, it's 2 on speed. I want to straighten out, but I can't. Eventually I can, because I'm slowing down now. So now I got to do open, close. Open, close, open, close. Friction brake, smooth stop. What we're always doing in slow speed maneuvers is standing by, waiting for the report. The report is from our brain, and the wording on the report is falling. Do something. So if I'm not using the rear brake as I'm going around in that circle, I'm waiting for the report. When I feel falling, as soon as I feel it, open up my clutch, close it back. I don't want to keep it open because I'm trying to stay at a speed where I can just stay in a circle. If I keep it open too long, what does it always want to do with power? It wants to go straight. So it's going to screw up my turn. That's why people's turns are so wide, right? But forget about that. I'm letting you know, just find a good spot and just use the rear brake to control your speed. That simple, okay? Now, like I showed you, come into a smooth stop. I'm gonna do it again, but this time I'm gonna ride toward you. I'm gonna have the clutch all the way in. And then near the end of that stop, you're gonna hear my RPMs go up a little bit, because that means I'm going into the friction zone for that stop. Friction brake, friction brake. That's what you're gonna hear me say. Friction brake means you're in the friction zone, but you're braking at the same time. And your braking must be progressive. Don't wait until you get to the spot where I want you to stop and brake, because then the stop's not going to be smooth. It's going to be abrupt, right? All right. Clutch is in. Preload. Clutch. Brake, 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 brake. Friction brake, friction brake. Smooth stop. I didn't even like that because it was leaning a little bit this way. But you get the point. That's the first thing we're gonna do today, guys. Smooth, short starts and stops. Have you practiced that before? How about you, Kent? Yeah. The high cones right here, they're 15 feet apart. So that exercise is the truth. We don't have a lot of space, and that's done purposely because it's forcing you to be the boss. So what I'm expecting to see is, ready, Rob? Yeah. No, we're not doing that. But I understand that people will do that because you're going to resort to what makes you feel comfortable. The initial takeoff is the key there, and being comfortable with that feeling. So keep in mind, when it comes time to stopping this bike smoothly, like I said, sometimes when you're going very slowly, it doesn't take much to throw the balance of the bike off when you start going very slowly. So sometimes if I'm coming to an end of the stop, this is why we always need to be scanning the road. If I see imperfections in the road where I'm stopping, even if the balance is working out, I'm already going to go into the friction zone because I know as soon as I hit that, it's going to throw my bike off. I'm getting in front of it, right? Now I'm going to talk to you about when I say take off smoothly, yeah. Look at the front suspension. You shouldn't see it move at all. Reload. Smooth stop. Clutch in. But, like I said, sometimes you go to move. Pick up my foot, handlebar start turning. It's falling. So if I want to get past that, open, close. Now you are going to see my suspension go up, come right back down. That's it. It's not something crazy. It's just a quick open close, and that's going to be relevant even more so when we get to exercise number 2. Questions? All right, so this smooth stop, friction brake, it's more important coming from a stop out of a turn like this. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Smooth stop. Foot up right away. Clutch, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Smooth stop. Clutch. I'm right before the friction zone when I start, so I don't have a lot of travel. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Smooth stop. You see the handlebars are you're still going to feel that. You're still on 2 wheels, but it's going to make it feel a lot better with sufficient power to the rear wheel. All right, let's do it. All right. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Nice. Front suspension, if you look at it. Let's look at it, let's look at it. All right, 10 push-ups. All right, let's look at it, let's look at it, let's look at it. Friction brake. Nope, nope. Stay in that friction zone longer. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. There we go. Friction brake, friction brake. Good job, man. And I usually like to be on the side where the clutch is so I can see what they're doing, but I'm going to be shooting into the sun. You know what? I'm going to do it anyway because I need to see that clutch. And I want to see that foot come down. Smooth. All right, good. Friction brake, friction brake. Look at that, guys. Good. You thought I was exaggerating? One more. All right, you know what I just realized? You're opening the clutch, keeping it open, and then pulling it all the way in, but you're going so fast that you have momentum to stop smoothly. Yeah. I want you to open and close. Okay. I want you to knead the friction zone into the end of that stop. Okay. There we go. There we go. See the difference, guys? Beautiful. One more. That's what I'm talking about, Mike. I'm telling you guys, he needs to make a smooth stop video. Excellent, Mike. Good job. Yeah, because I'm noticing he's going from cone to cone. His handlebars are straight as an arrow. If you do this exercise and your handlebars stay straight from one cone to the other, that's an indication that you're going too fast. Notice as soon as he slowed down, you saw his handlebars starting to move. That's what I want to see. We'll talk about that. All right, next cone, Kent. Too much speed, Kent. Too much speed, Kent. Too much speed. So here's what I want you to do, Kent. Right now, you're opening the clutch, and you're keeping it open throughout the travel. That's why you're going too fast. Open it into a 2, pull it back into a 1, like right away. You don't need all that speed, okay? Good, clutch. Good, good, good. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Now right there, you felt falling. As soon as you felt it, that foot came out. If you feel falling, clutch, not foot. Foot up. Friction. Too much speed, Kent. Try that again. Open, close it a little. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. All right, too much speed. We'll talk about it. This is one of those exercises where I said, as soon as you think, Rob, I am going slow, you're going too fast. And it's more difficult to stop the motorcycle smooth with that extra speed. And I can tell right from the start pretty much how it's going to be. Nice. Good. Friction brake. You should be braking here, braking here, braking here. All right, it's all right. But he made the face. That's what I like. Put up. Good. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Nice. Good. Easy with that brake. Beautiful. Nice. One more. Nah, man. No such thing. No such thing. He said, am I going too slow? No. Good. Friction brake, friction brake. Outstanding, Bill. Look at those Indy Ridge boots. Love it. And guys, I'm rocking my Armstrong Indy Ridge boots ventilated. I was coming back from a rodeo yesterday and I was hot. And as soon as I got on the road, I felt the wind blowing on my feet. Guys, check out Indy Ridge boots. Use my promo code, 10% off. Awesome, awesome boots and gloves. All right. So right from the start, you got to preload that throttle. You're not preloading. Let me hear your preload. Pull the clutch in. You're in the friction zone. Yeah. Good. That's your preload. Keep it there. Open, close here. Good. Keep it right there. Open the clutch slowly. Foot up. As soon as it starts to move. Keep it loaded. Keep it loaded. So what's happening right there, that's what happens with most people. As soon as you go to open the clutch, you forget about the preload. And I hear it going down. That's how we stall. Okay, preload. Let me hear your preload. Keep it there. Keep it there. Give me more. Give me more. All right, clutch. Because it's going to go down there. Keep it loaded. Clutch, foot up. Pull the clutch in a little. Brake, brake, brake. Not bad. Now remember, that's what, pull the clutch in. Okay, you can let the preload go. That's what we're doing. When you start, you don't need to open the clutch and keep it open the whole time. You're going to be going too fast. 2, 1. And then keep it in 1 while you're braking, 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 unless you feel like you need, if you feel falling, open it up some more, but keep braking, all right? Keep the clutch out until you stop. When you put your foot down, then you pull the clutch in. All right. Preload, give me some more. You're being cheap, there we go, stop being cheap. Give me the preload. Head and eyes, straight ahead. All right, clutch, clutch, open it up, pull it in a little. Brake, 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 brake. Not bad at all, man. Do that again. Keep it loaded, go, pull it in a little. Brake, 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 brake. Nice. Remember, open, close. Right now you're opening and keeping it open a little bit too long, but that was still good. Do that again. Preload. Keep it loaded, come on. Preload. Preload. It's gonna go down anyway, don't worry about it. Clutch. Open it, close it a little. Good. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Doing exercise number 3 over here. All right, go ahead, man. You're good. You're good. All right, we're going to talk about that because this happens all the time and it's so funny, but we're going to talk about it. The nerves, guys, the nerves. Any questions on that exercise? Jerome, first of all, we don't do the apology tour out here for stuff like that. You know, you're not holding anybody up. Everybody understands, right? And so a part of that is the reason why it adds to my level of patience. I remember going through this and regardless of knowing what to do, not being able to get my brain to get my body to do it. It's frustrating. But that's why I tell everybody, just be patient with yourselves, right? We all learn differently, especially if you know you come to a practice session and you don't practice until you come back to another one. That's the wrong way to do this, right? It's a perishable skill. Okay. First, I'm gonna talk about Mike. I'm noticing how beautiful his stops are. But then I noticed, I'm so mesmerized by how smooth his foot's coming down, I'm not realizing his handlebars are straight as an arrow from cone to cone. So once I notice that, the next time he goes, I see he opens his clutch, keeps it open, and then pulls it all the way to the grip and coasts into a smooth stop. It's a lot easier to stop smoothly with that extra speed. So then I said to him, hey, Mike, you're going too fast. Open, close. Once he did, as soon as he started like that, his handlebars is doing this. That's what I want to see. Like the purpose of this exercise is, again, we have to normalize that falling feeling. And in that exercise, I want you to feel it right away. I want you to need the friction zone in that stop. I don't want momentum pulling you into the stop. You're already comfortable doing that. We have to be comfortable being uncomfortable out here. That's how we get better. I say it all the time, the flight simulator, never a smooth flight from point A to point B. It can't be. Something's got to go wrong so that they can get comfortable with it and know what to do. So that was excellent. If you made a stop that wasn't smooth, I saw the face. That's all I want to see, because I know that you know, all right, that wasn't right. And you know what you did. Next time you don't do it. I told you, they're not going to all be good. But even when I stopped in front of you, I said, yes, see, I didn't like that stop because I felt the bike go like that, just a little bit. Perfection doesn't exist, but it doesn't mean we don't strive for it, right? And lastly, dude, it's already coming together. Already coming together, because at first, clutch. That's everybody's best friend. Clutch means good. It's going to take care of it. When I told you to open, close, and again, most people that start doing this, when I say preload, you're going to be real stingy with it, because right now your brain registers that sound that's too high. No, it's not. It's fine. Trust me. You're going to get accustomed to the sound and realizing it's going to go down anyway when you open your clutch. So you're good. But here's the funny part. I deal with this a lot in my private lessons. When it comes time to stopping the motorcycle, there's so much concentration going on keeping it loaded and keeping the clutch open and braking constantly. Totally forget to put your feet down. That happens all the time. It's so crazy. So you actually came to a complete stop and you were just sitting there like this. And when you felt falling, then you put your foot down. And that's the only reason the bike went like this. So as you were coming to the end of that stop, if your foot started coming out like Mike's, that stop would have been just like this. So I can't wait for you to go back and watch that, because that's crazy, right? All right, but that was good. All right, moving on, guys. Exercise number 2, slow ride. Now, the slow ride is also designed to take you outside of your comfort zone. I'm gonna walk next to you, and you're gonna ride. You're gonna ride at my walking pace or slower. Don't pass me. You're not allowed to use the rear brake. I don't have to say you can't use the front brake. That's a given. The purpose of this exercise is practicing open, close. If you open, close, you're going to pass me. You kept the clutch open too long. Open, close. All you're doing is getting the bike to stand up, get past that falling feeling, and then I want you to work it out. Now I know, wait a minute, Robert, you told me to address it as soon as I feel it. So because we're all different and we're going to be in our feelings today, our feelings rule us. So your uh-oh feeling is going to be different than mine. So if you're constantly feeling uh-oh, you're going to be open, 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 too fast, you're going to pass me. Open, close, work it out. Don't open, close again until you absolutely need it. And even when that happens, open, close. Don't do that, okay? That's the exercise, all right? Questions? When you ride toward me, ride at a normal speed and come to me at a smooth stop. Again, we're practicing smooth stop. So again, today I want you stopping like we stopped there all day. Even if it's a situation where you have speed, slow the bike down enough so that when you stop like that. Now I got rid of the exercise number 1. Now this is 1, not the warm-up. I got rid of the other one because I was gonna definitely wind up taking up drinking. Everybody was messing up this exercise. And then when I thought about it, it's not, people are not getting out of it what I think they should. And we're out here long enough, so I want it to be beneficial as far as the time. So yeah, stop there, smooth stop. And then when I say, are you ready? Yes. I used to give you a nice head start. No, I'm gonna start almost right next to you now. Well, no, not next to, but in front of the bike a little bit. Open, close, work it out. Let's do it. Exercise number 2, guys, the slow ride. Mark is going first all day. Beautiful, still too much speed. That's why your suspension went like this. When you were stopping there, I was saying to the camera, look at his front suspension. At no point did it do that. That's how smooth I want it to be. All right, no brake. Clutch, 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 clutch. So his handlebar started falling to the right, to the left. That's what happens when you don't have enough clutch. But smooth stop, rear brake. Smooth enough. Park wherever you want to park. All right, we got Mike here. All right, ready? No rear brake? Good, let's do it. See? Immediately, handlebars to the left. That's what I expect to see. It's not going to always happen, but most likely it is if you start small. Rear brake, smooth stop. Nice. See, you know it's coming. That was still smooth. That was still smooth. His foot jerked to it, but he didn't smash at it. He just got his foot to it. You know, the rear brake on that bike is situated differently, so. All right, that was too much speed. Remember, when you come to the end of that stop, you should be stopping like you stopped there. All right, you ready? No rear brake. Let's do it. Excellent. He's way behind me. I'm walking at my normal pace. Rear brake, smooth stop. Rear brake, smooth stop. Now the whole time you're doing that, you're looking here. What are you looking at? Yeah. You don't want to look through the windshield. You want to look over the windshield. So keep your head and your eyes straight ahead. Okay. All right. Yeah, guys, believe it or not, your windshield's it's not meant for you to look through it. It's not like a windshield in a car. You're supposed to be looking over that windshield. And because the wind is deflected above you, it won't affect you. And if it does, your windshield's too low. But most people are wearing a full face helmet, so they don't have to worry about that. All right, you ready? Let's do it. All right, reset. You can start with that left foot on the board. Yeah, I mean the right foot, yeah. See? And that's happened 3 times, guys. You see, as soon as they start, handlebars are turning. Start of a fall. And when you don't address it, bikes fall. I see it all the time. If you don't address it enough, they just keep turning. All right, rear brake, smooth stop. Good job. Good. Jerome's covering the rear brake this time. There we go. We on the road. Jerome said that he usually like skims my videos. No, we can't skim these videos because then we're getting partial information, partial education. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Yeah, just start bringing that foot down sooner. Everything else looks good, man. All right. No rear brake. Don't pass me. Open, close with that clutch. Preload. Don't look at me. Look straight ahead. Straight ahead. Oh, up. Let's get situated first. All right. Head and eye straight ahead. Preload. You can put that on the footboard. Just don't put it on the brake. There we go. Preload. Preload. I didn't say move. Just preload. Let's get that right first. Preload the throttle. Put that foot up. Preload. And keep it loaded. Give me more. Stop being cheap. Give me more. All right, clutch. Open, close. Open, close. Open, 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 open. Good. 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 Head nice straight ahead. Why are you looking at me? All right, rear brake, smooth stop. Not bad at all, man. Not bad at all. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's enough. That's 10. Front brake. Remember, follow the first 5 steps every time before you move this bike. Which means what? What's step number 2? Cover the rear brake. Cover it. Doesn't mean you have to press it. Just cover it. All right. Head nice straight ahead. Clutch. Clutch. All right. Clutch. All right. You hear that chug-a-lug? So that's why I'm telling him to preload that throttle and keep it loaded. Because as soon as he opens the clutch, it's going to go down. All right. Let's talk about trust and believe. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Smooth stop. Questions on slow ride? Not bad at all. 3 of you, as soon as you opened up your clutch, your handlebar started turning to the left. Did anybody put their foot down? Well, Bill did. No, Bill did. No, you didn't put your foot down. No, you didn't. Listen, I love for stuff to happen after we already talked about it. Because you can listen to me all day, but I told you what rules you. Your feelings. So if you feel it, Now you can relate that to what we talked about, right? And Jerome, you got to know, man, you shaking your head and all this stuff. This is day one for you, and you're already well ahead of a lot of people. Like I tell most people, if you can only see life through my eyes and see what I see, right? Not bad at all. We just got to get you accustomed to keeping the throttle loaded, because right here, when you first started to take off, you're not covering the rear brake. That's fine. No, it's not fine. I mean, it's not a big deal though. And when you went to take off with that low preload, as soon as you open the clutch, your bike started going boop, 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 boop. That's one step away from stalling, so we want to be away from that, right? All right. Also, guys, I want you to keep in mind, stopping your motorcycle with the friction zone, that's more important when you're coming out of a turn and stopping. That's the situation where people drop bikes, because they commit to a turn and then they see something and they say, oh man, I got to stop. And the only thing they know how to do is apply the brakes. If you're in a turn, lean, handlebars turn, whatever, just by applying the brakes while you're in that, it's just going to fall. Because again, it always wants to fall going slow. I'm not talking about a speed turn. I'm talking about going slow, especially doing it from a stop. So the guy that told me I had to lay her down because he's leaving the gas station, and as he commits to his lean, he sees something and he just hits the brake, and now he's mad at the guy driving the car. What should he have done, Jerome?
I'm so new, I don't know. Should have stayed off that front brake if he was on it. He brought his revs up sufficiently.
Mm-hmm.
Hit that back brake.
What else does he need to do? Because getting the revs up is just preloading. Clutch. You got to open up the clutch, because again, the clutch is the friction zone, not the revs. So I know what Kent meant. He should be preloaded, friction zone, rear brake at the same time, because the power is needed to stand the bike up, to get it out of that lean, because it always wants to stand up with power, sufficient power. But I'm braking at the same time. Once I get the bike straight up, that stop's not going to be smooth. But in that instance, that's not the priority. It's just to stop. But what Mark said is the real key to this whole thing. I know for a fact they're not looking before committing. Because if they did look, they would have saw the car and never committed to the lean. Or even if the car is at a certain, it doesn't matter if the car is in the way, it's on my radar now because I see it. So I might start my turn, but I'm not going to start it in a lean. You see what I mean? All right. Anyway, exercise number 3, trust and believe. That's what we're going to do right now. Do you trust and believe that? No, let me get off this bike. Because there's always one bull crapper in the group. Do you trust? Now, I don't know if it's you. Do you trust and believe that as long as you provide sufficient power to this rear wheel, the bike won't fall?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Told you there's always one bull crapper. Jerome. And here's how I know you don't trust it. Actually, I got to say he doesn't trust it fully either. Because in that little exercise, when the bike started to fall, a foot came down. If your foot ever comes down, you don't trust it. Because trust and believe is just knowing that if I open up my clutch, everything's going to be okay. If I open it up enough, it's got to be sufficient. And again, we go back to, if I address it as soon as I feel it, but we got to go a step further than just addressing it, because addressing it is you making the decision to open your hand. But if you're coming from the grip, it's taking up time. So that's why I want you right before the friction zone. The thing that we all fear is the bike falling. How gratifying is it to know that the biggest fear we have is resolved by this? That's it. Doesn't take a lot of muscle, nothing. That's why the size of the person doesn't matter as far as operating one of these things. The size of the motorcycle doesn't matter, because this is it, right? Rear brake, throttle, but this. And that's why, oh man, look at that girl riding that bike. That girl just knows what the hell she's doing, period. All right, so I'll leave that at that. So this next exercise, these first exercises, again, we're trying to normalize the feeling of falling and getting you to address it with this. But that exercise shows me, all right, we ain't getting it yet. We're going to go a step further. Now we're going to do it with the bike not moving at all. So, are you familiar with trust and believe? Okay, so Jerome said that he was skimming my videos. I'm going to have to fact check you now, Jerome.
You can fact check it.
No, I can't. All right. This exercise is designed to reprogram your brain to associate that motorcycle falling, that feeling, with putting your feet out to this. That's what this exercise is designed to do. And the first exercise and the second exercise that we did You could practice that every time you ride. As a matter of fact, the first one, you have to stop anyway. So practice it. Slow ride, don't rush to that red light. Practice it. This, I don't want you practicing in traffic. But it's always relevant in traffic. Any time that you feel your bike falling, this is relevant. And this is why, when I ask people who loves making U-turns, most people don't raise their hands. And when I have private lessons and people come out, they say, Rob, just help me out with U-turns. That's all I need. You don't know what you don't know. They think that's all they need. I don't start them with U-turns. That's exercise number 6. We start here because if you can't get comfortable feeling normal with the bike, feeling like it's going to fall while we're just going straight, of course a U-turn is going to be scary. Of course it is. So we have to get, again, this is all our feelings. Once we can normalize that feeling and really trust that this is the answer, everything else becomes easier to learn, all right? Now, as I often say, this is not a competition out here, so nobody's expecting you to do anything extreme. I just want you to be comfortable to make a U-turn, period. So, 5 steps. Step number 1, always step number 1, make sure it's in first gear. We're going to cover the rear brake. Now, Jerome, covering it just means we're resting our foot on it. Okay, you don't have to apply pressure. Step number 3, then we come up. Preload. And keep it loaded, especially in this exercise, because in this exercise, when it's time to do something, people forget about the preload and then they stall. Your motorcycle's only going to fall one of 2 reasons today, outside of a mechanical issue. 1, you pull the clutch all the way in, take away the only thing keeping it up. And 2, stall. And that's why we do all of the exercises we're doing now, going straight. If it stalls while we're going straight, not a huge deal. Happened to finesse the Challenger right here on that girl bike. But but when we start turning, when you stall, it happens all the time. I hate go, it compresses your front suspension. If it's a heavy bike, it's probably going to fall over. Lighter bike, you can kind of catch it, right? Preload the throttle and keep it loaded. Step number 4, same thing. I want you right before the friction zone. More important in this exercise than the others. Right before it. Pull it to the grip, start opening it up. You feel it start to move, pull it right before it. That's where you live. Over time, if you do this all the time, the muscle memory is going to kick in. Your hand's going to be accustomed to being there anyway. And that's why if I get on somebody else's bike, or even that Road King, my Road King, it's a hydraulic clutch, so it's further out. I'm already accustomed to it now, but then I go back and get on one of my other bikes, and it's like, shh, and I got to kind of reacclimate myself. Step number 5, I'm going to yell, foot up. When I say foot up, don't think about it. Just pick up your foot and wait to feel falling. Wait for the report. Don't just pick up your foot, open your hand. Again, I need you to feel the bike falling. That's the key here. You got to feel it. If you address that feeling as soon as you feel it, that's the most the bike should do. If you wait, that's when it gets scarier. But keep in mind, I don't give a damn how scary it is. If it's still falling and you're opening your hand, open it some more. Now, what's really going on is some people pull a clutch to the grip. Oh, crap! The bike falls, and then they say, I was opening it up. Negative. I know you thought you were, but no, you were like this. Also, not only do people do this, but they do this. And so they opened the clutch, they felt falling, everything was fine, but the bike's like this because they're holding it back with the brake. Now that's a fight, all right? So, with that being said, first gear, cover the rear brake, preload the throttle, and keep it loaded. I'm going to be saying it right next to you. Clutch right before the friction zone. Make sure you're not in it. Now, again, I understand that when people are nervous, you don't realize it, but I do. I can hear when your bike's in the friction zone. So if you're sitting still and your bike's creeping forward, you're in the friction zone. You're like at 0.5. You're not at stage 1 yet. And I'm going to tell you, you're in the friction zone. Pull a clutch in. I don't want this bike moving at all. When you pick your foot up, I don't want it moving at all. Only time it should move is when you start falling, clutch. That's it. Questions? Demo. So the first one, I'm going to address it as soon as I feel it, so I can do it right here. First gear, covering the rear brake, preload. My head and my eyes are straight ahead. Clutch right before the friction zone. Right there. That's good for me. I got my foot off the brake so I can see whether my bike's moving. Right there, see it's moving. Got to pull it in. Keep it loaded. Foot up. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Smooth stop. Oh, I forgot to mention, when you do this, I want you coming to a smooth stop. It's all about being in control out here. This is not, when you hear people say, hey, when in doubt, throttle out. That shit sounds cute because it rhymes. But certain situations where you don't have space to do that, you need to be in control. I don't need to go fast. I just need to pick the bike up. That's all I'm doing here. All right, now I'm going to wait a little bit longer. Right there, coming out of a stop. Got to use the friction zone. And we don't stop with the handlebars turn. First gear. Covering the rear brake. Preload. Clutch right before the friction zone. Head and eye straight ahead. Foot up. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Smooth stop. So the difference is going to be where my bike comes to rest. It's going to show you how long it took me to address it. First time, I'm right here. Second time, I'm over there because I waited longer. I don't want you to wait. I want you to address it as soon as you feel it. Questions? All right, mark those 2 cones. All right, you ready? Head and eye straight ahead. Good. Foot up. Smooth stop. Beautiful. Next exercise. Good. Friction brake, friction brake. But always practicing it. All right, good. First gear, covering the rear brake. Preload. You're moving. You're in the friction zone. Foot up. Smooth stop. Nice, Mike. See how his foot comes down nice and smooth? It's a timing mechanism when you do the heel toe. As he starts putting the foot out, he's braking, braking, braking. Smooth stop. All right, we're going to get that stop a little smoother. All right, head and eye straight ahead. First gear. Covering the rear brake. Preload. Give me some more preload. More preload.
More preload?
Yeah, more preload. It's too low. Right there is good. Pull the clutch in. You're moving. I want it right before the friction zone. Okay, good, good. Foot up. All right, stop, stop. Stop, 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 stop. Let's try it again. Let me back you up. All right, so remember, right now I'm saying foot up and you're going, give me a second, Rob. As soon as you hear it, don't think about it. Pick your foot up. Okay. But make sure that bike's not moving. Right now, you got it moving. Preload. Head nice straight ahead, good. Foot up. Clutch, clutch, clutch. All right, try it again. And you're still moving. Make sure the bike's not moving. Preload. Pull the clutch in, it's moving. There we go. Foot up. All right, good, good, up, up. You're good, you're good.
Pulling that clutch in fast enough.
Well, you're pulling it in, that's the point.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wait for the command. Wait for the command. You're waiting for foot up. Foot up. Clutch, clutch. Try it again, one more time, one more time. One more time. Preload. Give me some more preload. Foot up. Clutch, 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 clutch. Smooth stop. Good job. He was moving a little bit, but it's okay. Again, we're here to practice and figure out what we need more work on. So if he doesn't get it right here, he can practice it on his own. Good, smooth stop. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Okay. All right, first gear. Cover the rear brake. Preload. Head and eye straight ahead. Foot up. Smooth stop. Don't stop at the ball's turn. Good job. I should have told him to give me more preload from the start. Clutch, clutch. Good. Good. Friction brake. Head and eye straight ahead. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Keep that clutch open. Keep it open. Foot down, foot down. Now pull it in. It's coming, it's coming. So all that meant is as you were coming up here, you're in stage one. Stage 1 was working out just fine. But the slower you go, you start feeling falling, you got to open it up a little bit more. All right. First gear, yes, covering the rear brake. Give me some more preload. Give me more. Good, right there. Foot up. That's what I expect, don't worry about it. And make sure this bike's not moving. I don't want you in the friction zone until you feel falling. Foot up. Clutch. What happened there?
Again, same thing. That I thought I was opening and didn't open, and then by the time I felt the falling, I tried to compensate and boom.
So why did it fall?
Again, not enough power, and then I gave it too much.
Remember, I told you 2 ways it's going to fall. Pulling the clutch all the way in or stalling. Which one happened here?
Pulling the clutch all the way in.
Nope. Stalled.
I stalled?
Yep. Keep that throttle loaded. That's what that's about. Let's try it again. But that's why we have to have these conversations. It's important. We have to know why things are happening. And that way you can pay attention to it and go, oh, you can hear it. It said, listen, your lifeline is that throttle. Let me hear it. Preload it. Give me more. 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 Keep it there. Foot up. Clutch. All right. Try it again. But see, that time it didn't stall. We got to go higher because as soon as you open it, it's going to drop. Give me more. Foot up. Clutch. 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 Smooth stop. All right. Good work on it. Head over there, man. Reload. See right there, that's why these first 5 steps are so important. Even him pulling off from here, because he didn't preload the throttle, it almost stalled and he was turning. That would have been another drop. Stall. All right, guys. And yes, his bike was moving a little bit before he went, but like I said, that's something he's got to work on his own or next time he comes back as well. All right, now we're going to start turning now. And that's why I recommend you get these first 3 things down before you start turning, because exercise number 4 is the highest failure rate for a reason. We're turning the way most motorcycle riders don't turn. All right, let's do it. Shit, that was like a dance step. I went like this and everybody's foot at the same time went. Oh shit, that looked good. I don't know, but when I go back, I'm gonna watch it because if it is in sync like it looked like it, I'm gonna put something on the screen about that. Like, watch these guys. I'm gonna do it in slow motion. That was cool. Yeah, exactly. We got to get the band back together. All right, listen. So again, A, I don't want you practicing that in traffic, but B, I do want you to practice it, right? It's as important as these other exercises, if not more so, because it's throwing you right into that feeling we have to get over, right? Picking up your foot, you would think we were on the top of a mountain doing it because people's heart rates go up. That's why when I say smooth stop, usually the stop is still like this because you're like this, but you're fine. Now, if you look at Mark or you look at Mike do it, they already know I'm going to do a smooth stop. They've already done it a bunch of times. So now in their brains, it's already set. I know what I'm going to do. And I don't have that same level of, right? Matter of fact, with Mark, I should have told you preload more, but I left it alone. And his preload was still a little low. I just want to get away from that because if ever it's that low, going straight, we got to deal with it. His bike dropped and I asked him, do you know why it dropped? I told you only 2 ways. He said, because I pulled the clutch in. I said, negative, it stalled. Got to keep the throttle loaded. All right, but now he knows that, he feels that. You go back and watch the video, he'll be able to say, oh yeah, I heard it. All right. Exercise number 4, guys, and this is why, this is the highest failure rate. This is right turns, left turns from a stop. But that's why I tell people, get comfortable with those first 3 before you start doing this. Because if you just try to jump right into this, yeah, most people are not going to do well at this. Why? Because most motorcycle riders don't turn 90 degrees. What's your strength, right turns or left turns? Has this answer changed?
You tell me right, so.
All right, right. Okay. How about you?
I'm going to say left.
Left.
Left's easy.
Left's
Right's
easy.
hard.
Right's hard.
I feel like left also.
Okay.
Left.
Okay. Now, some of you have been here, so you actually know which side is which. But usually when I ask that question to people, the answer they're giving me is U-turns. And it's usually the opposite of this, right? Because people don't turn like this. So if I have to make a turn like this, most motorcycle riders, I'm duck walking this all day. Because motorcycle riders ride straight and make slight turns. Why? Because that's how you turn with speed. And speed is where everybody's comfortable. Speed doesn't take a lot of skill or technique. This takes a lot of it. So guys, let me ask you this. How long have you been riding the bike again?
Again, just like,
Brand new, since Father's Day.
yes.
Have you ridden on gravel yet? would you like to ride on gravel?
Because we go down that dirt road.
How do you feel about riding on gravel?
I don't like it. I mean,
You don't like it?
I'll try it. I'll try anything.
I'll ride on it,
If I
but
can
I
jump
won't.
from a plane,
I
I
don't.
can do
If
this.
I can avoid it, I avoid it.
Yeah, exactly. So Kent doesn't like riding on gravel. You like riding on gravel? Yeah, not particularly. So I don't think any of us are going to choose gravel over this, over asphalt. But people that are not comfortable riding their motorcycle in the friction zone, it's a fear. It's almost like it's never going to happen. No. And that's when they want to put their feet out, which is the worst time to put your feet out because the footing is not sure, right? So if we know that if we have gravel, we have to ride like you were riding when you were next to me. Exercise number 2, slow ride. But that really is not that important. You can actually go faster if you're going straight. It's when it's time to turn. You can't be leaning in gravel. That's when the bike's going to fall. That's what this exercise is. We're making these turns straight up. Zero lean. This is the gravel road. And once you practice this and get good at this, there's not much you're not going to be able to do confidently on your motorcycle. Because this kind of riding, making these turns 2 miles per hour, takes way more skill and technique than anything leaning. Because in order to lean, what do you need? Speed. And speed gives you what? Assistance. No assistance here. It's all on you. Something don't work out, you don't do something, either you're going to put a foot down, you're going to fall. But the answer is this. So here are the keys to success, guys. When you come in here, the first time we come in here, we're going to go, I think most of you said left. So we're going to go left first. As you're approaching this turn, this is where you're going to get your stuff together. I want you guys starting from beyond those other cones. So you can come straight down. All right? Preload. I like the way it sounds. Keep it there. Clutch. What stage am I in? 1. 1 is working. I'm going to stay there. And I want you to ride from there to about right here without the brake. That's just you getting the clutch where it should be. When you get about right here, start applying gentle pressure. Because from there on out, you don't have to worry about the clutch. Just like I showed you over there. If you feel the bike falling, come off the brake a little bit. But you have to do it as soon as you feel it, right? If you want to go up to a stage 2, that's fine too. I'd rather you have a little bit more than not enough, right? The issue with this is as soon as people turn the handlebars, it all goes to crap because they just don't like the way it feels. But I want you to know, A, nothing changes as far as your technique. The only thing that might change is you feel the bike falling in because you're turning left. Address that with power, but brake. That's what we're doing. 2, your bike is more stable with the bars turned anyway. If you saw me ever stop, not moving at all, you're never going to see me with the bike like this. I'm always going to have the handlebars turned because it creates like a tripod effect, right? By having the bars turned, I can stabilize the bike. So when you guys go to make this turn, head and eyes, let's not forget about that, head and eyes, and then handlebars. And don't turn your head and your eyes and then look down at these cones. Keep your head turned. Look at that direction. And as I make this turn, I'm waiting for a report. If I don't feel anything, then I don't have to change anything. If I feel the bike falling in, I'm going to come off the brake a little bit to pick the bike back up, or open up the clutch a little bit. What happens if I'm making this turn? I'm going very slowly, Kent, and I feel the bike falling to the right. How do I correct that? I'm making this turn. I turn my bars to the left. I'm going very slow. My intention is to go left, and all of a sudden, I feel the bike falling to the right. How do I correct that?
You need to make it fall this way, so you.
How am I going to do that?
Bring the clutch in.
There you go. There you go. So we have to know, this is again about being the boss. We're always going to be doing based on what we feel. I feel the bike falling in, I need clutch. I feel it falling out, because if it's falling out, we don't need to make very big changes for effects to happen. It doesn't have to be a lot. You have a little bit too much power. It's trying to go straight. That's why it's going that way. Pull the clutch in, boom. But when you pull it in, you're in your feelings. Pull it in until you don't, then you pull it back out. So you stay straight. The goal is to stay straight up. So because you know that, if I'm like this, up, down, in, out. If you have to do that. Picking up what I'm putting down? All right, good. We're going to do this 3 ways. I'm going to demonstrate all 3. First, we're just going to go straight through. Keep in mind, this box, if you want to come over here to make a left turn, that's fine. But just keep in mind, don't cut it too early because you don't want to hit those big cones. And don't wait too late to turn. That's what most people do. This is not a full lock turn unless you make it one. So if you turn late, then yeah, you're going to have to turn you're going to have to lock the bars. I stop here when I practice, when we do it from a stop. Or I stop here, or I stop here. So yesterday, in that rodeo, there was an exercise called the bleeding ulcer. And in the bleeding ulcer, if I stop here, let me start here first. If I stop here, I can just go straight and make this turn, no problem. If I start here, what do I have to introduce, Kent?
Speed and lean.
No, I should have started with this. 3 things determine the radius of a turn on a motorcycle. 3 things determine the radius. One of them is speed. Give me another one.
Lean angle.
Lean angle,
The amount the bars are
handlebar turns. Speed, handlebar turn, lean angle. That's what determines the radius of a turn on a motorcycle. So if I start from here, I'm good. I don't have to really introduce anything more than what I'm already doing. Handlebars, I'm going. Speed's not an issue in this exercise because we're not going fast. If I start here, I have to introduce the second one, handlebars. I need to start with the handlebars turned, and then I'm good. If I start here, what do I have to introduce? Lean angle. How do I introduce lean from a standstill? Trust and believe. I have to start with the handlebars turned again, but I have to let the bike fall and catch it with the clutch. Now, in a situation like that, I'm not to the grip. Trust me, I'm right before the friction zone because I need that power. I'm letting the bike fall. In the bleeding ulcer, there were a couple of times where I would go around a cone, and then you have to do a quick transition. But if you transition, if you don't have a lot of space to transition and your transitions aren't really fast, how do I compensate for that? I got to bring the bike to a stop, transition, and then let it fall. And that's what I was doing yesterday. But it's an option for me to do it because that's how I practice, right? Anywho, the point is if you guys come over here, don't wait late to turn. When you get about right here, you should be turning. That way it doesn't have to be a full lock. And when you turn the bars, guys, hold the turn. Now, I know people don't like the turn, so you're trying to get out of that turn as soon as possible. And so even though the turn was going to be great, your goal is to be in the middle of this lane. That's the goal. And I'm looking at the trajectory. I'm like, oh, shit, this is going to be perfect. Then all of a sudden I see this. Hold the turn until you get in the middle. Okay? All right. Demo, if there's no questions. Demo. Remember, guys, I told you in the beginning, bro, Rob, I'm going slow. No, you're not. You're not going my slow. You're going too fast. I want it straight up. Head and eyes. Why am I going to harp on head and eyes? Because it's important. Whatever you guys do out here, you're doing it out there. First gear. Cover the rear brake. Preload. Clutch. Foot up. All right. Drag the rear brake. Head and eyes. Rear brake. Clutch it in the same spot. Rear brake. I'm just waiting for the report. Waiting for the report. Hold the turn. Right in the middle. Smooth stop, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Now, of course, I exaggerate that just so I can talk to you while I'm doing it. But all I'm doing, when you see something like that, this is just like anything else. You know, 2 things. The less we know, the more we worry. That's true with everything. Also, the less we know, the more impressed we are, right? With anything. All I'm doing there is waiting for the report. It's no different. It's trust and believe. Just like we did, but just, in my opinion, not as nerve-wracking. As I turn the bars, now that shit doesn't always work out. But if it's working out, I know that if I'm going that slow, I can't do anything jerky. Because one little movement is going to throw the balance of the bike off. So I'm just waiting for a report. Hold it. And really, I'm trying to make sure the bike is kind of staying on a slight lean inward. Because outward, I'm going to lose it. Inward is easier to correct because all I got to do is give it a little bit of power, but I'm on the rear brake, right? All I'm doing is using the brake at that point. The clutch is in the same spot. When you guys do this from a stop, again, I stop at the line. You can stop anywhere in this box. But keep in mind, when you're coming up to this stop, I want it smooth, just like there. And because I told you guys to come from back there, that little bit of speed you guys are going to get, I'm going to see your suspension. Do that. I don't want to see that. Smooth stop, and we're talking with wheel placement too, knowing where your front wheel is. You know how many times I told this guy yesterday at a private lesson? Not yesterday, the day before. Stop here. He kept stopping there every single time. He didn't know where his wheel was. Okay? So you can stop wherever you want, guys, but I want you to keep in mind. Let me show you something. I had my ambassadors do this in Florida. You could be on the inside of the lane and still make a right turn. As long as you do it straight up, right? Straighten out, friction brake, smooth stop. And I show you that because I want you to understand, yes, this is not a competition. If you want to start here to make a left turn, that's fine. The more you practice, the more you're going to start bringing it in. Also, I did a video on this as well. Sometimes when you're out there riding in the real world and you need to stop to make a turn, something may be blocking your vision. So that's not an option to do it from back there. So you're going to have to come up here and make this turn. Now, what a lot of people do is in that situation, they're going to keep their foot down, open the clutch. The turn's going to be wide as hell because they're just opening the clutch. And they're relying on that speed. And it's a moment of stress because traffic is coming. It's not one of these instances where it's just an open wide road. They're waiting for an opening. There's the opening. Wide. That's why we're always covering the rear brake, because you're not going to be perfect with the clutch. Now, full disclosure, in this situation, I told you guys earlier, if I ever have to make a turn and I don't have a lot of space, this was one of those cases. I opened my clutch up to 2 and then back to 1. Open clutch. I just needed to stand up. Rear brake. Then I start turning. Clutch is in the same spot. Stage 1, rear brake. Stage 1. Waiting for a report. If I need power, come off the brake a little bit. All right, then we're going to stop. Do it from a stop. Well, I already showed you that. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to stop, make the turn, smooth stop. Now, I added that a while ago because I noticed that when people would make this turn, if they made the turn, as soon as they got clear of this inside cone, clutch open. And again, I need you to be in control. This is what I'm talking about. If I make this turn like this, coming out of a lean, it's a lot more difficult to bring the bike to a stop. Now for me, that's much more work involved than this. Rear brake, clutch in the same spot, dragging the brake, straighten out, friction brake. See, because again, the thing that makes us feel most comfortable, which is speed, also makes stuff more difficult for us when we have to stop. And so if we have to stop, if that's the only space we have out in the real world, I'm not dropping the bike. I can still get out of the lean, friction zone, friction brake, boom, and stop is like that. But that's not what we're doing here. I don't want you leaning in here. Smooth, straight up and down. Questions? Mark, we're going left first. No, straight through. Head nice, Mark. Nice, waiting for the report. Straight through, don't stop here, straight through. Head nice. Beautiful. Good. Head nice on my camera. You're looking at those cones. Outstanding. We ain't stopping yet. Bill's just showing off now. And you can see he has no issue with the turn, but I want the head nice turn. Slow down. Good, keep it slow, head nice. Start turning. All right. Good, stay at that speed. We're not stopping here. Get that foot up, brake, cover that brake. Stop, start over. Keep going. Pull the clutch in, keep going. Because I want you to have space to get everything together. All right, follow the first 5 steps. What's step number 1? Make sure it's in first gear. 2, cover that rear brake. 3, preload. Keep it loaded. 4, clutch. Open it up, open it like you mean it, pull it in. There you go. Rear brake, drag the brake, keep the clutch where it is. Start turning, head nice. You're good, you're good, you're good, don't worry about it.
Can I do one more? Can I do one more?
One more, we're gonna do a bunch more, don't worry about it. Straight through. Left turn, straight through. Head nice, head nice. Clutch, clutch, clutch. Good job. Now, yeah, he's leaning. If that's gravel, he's got a problem. But he's not leaning because of speed. He's leaning because he's not addressing the falling feeling right away. Good head nice. Excellent, excellent. Still looking at those cones. Good job, good job. And so that's what I mean, we're all working on something. So he's comfortable with the speed and everything in the turning. Now we gotta work on head nice. Good, stay at that speed, stay at that speed. Keep the clutch where it is, keep the clutch where it is. Start turning, rear brake. Hold that turn, hold the turn. There you go, Kent. Slow down. Good, good. Keep going, stay at that speed. Keep the clutch where it is. A little bit of pressure on the rear brake, give me some more clutch. Because see, listen, remember I told you, as we're coming straight, that's the time to get it together. Okay, keep going back. So if you're coming straight and the handlebars are all over the place, it's not enough power. We don't want to start turning with the handlebars doing that. So open up the clutch a little bit more, and then you can go from there. So when you open this clutch, open it. Now pull it in a little. That's all. Good. Keep it right there. A little bit of pressure. Start turning. Keep the clutch where it is. Good. Good. Hold the turn. Brake, brake. Dude, that was excellent. Excellent. And I'm saying that because as you're making that turn, when the bike started to lean in, I saw your hand do that. So it's right there, man. Shut it off. Let me show you something, just in case you want to try it. Left hand, right grip. Right hand, left grip. Pulling with this hand, pushing with this hand, stepping into the bike. We're not doing this. Keeping the back leg straight. We're using leverage. But you got to do it simultaneous. 1, 2, 3. Push, pull, step. Instead of having, then put your hip against the bike. No. Front brake, straighten it out. Kickstand down. In case you don't want, the other way is just too much work. And you see where your bike is? You had this turn, but you pull the clutch in. But you were good, man. You are so much further. Trust me, man. You're doing good. So right from here, turn the handlebars. We're doing this. Nothing changes. Slowly release the clutch. As soon as it starts to move, pick up your foot. Good. Open it, pull it in a little. There we go. And the reason that happens to everybody, if the wheels turn to the left, they open the clutch and they start feeling the bike do that. It's because they're opening the clutch too much. It wants to go straight, but your intention is to turn. So that means you have to open it just enough to get it to stand up without falling and without going straight. Smooth stop. Beautiful. I heard that friction zone come on. All right, left turn. Clutch, clutch, clutch. Good job, good job. Friction brake, beautiful. Left turn, head nice. Outstanding, outstanding. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Beautiful. So clearly, we all got something to work on. You're comfortable with all of that, but the head and eyes are terrible. So that's what we're going to concentrate on. Look at that camera and keep looking at it. Good. Look at the difference. Do it again. That's okay, that happens. It's a balance thing. I saw you look at those cones. It's okay. I saw you look at them. People don't understand it's a tell. His head dipped. Slow down, slow down, slow down. All right. That last turn was excellent. Same thing again. Open the clutch, keep the clutch where it is. Rear brake. Head nod. Good job, man. Good job. He needs higher cone. I mean, he needs higher bars too. He's a tall guy too, and he makes that turn. His elbows are into his body. Jerome's bike just stalled again. It shows me he's not following the first step, but it's gonna come in time. Straight through, don't stop. Good. Keep the clutch where it is. Keep it loaded. Start turning. Rear brake. Rear brake. Rear brake. Drag it. Hold the turn. Hold the turn. Clutch. Clutch. Excellent. There you go. Smooth stop. All right, a little bit too quick on that foot coming down. Smooth stop over here. So what you're doing, you're leaning in these turns. But you're not leaning because you're going too fast. You're leaning because when the bike starts to fall, you're not addressing it quick enough. So it's good. That's why I don't complain about it. I worry about speed. That's a good thing. Smooth stop. Head nice. Head nice. Hold that turn. All right. Right turn's next. Right there, he felt falling at the end. That's why the foot came down so quick. What you have to do is keep that clutch open. Open it a little bit more near the end. Smooth stop. Smooth stop. Oh my God. I'm not even going to say smooth stop to you anymore. It's not necessary. Give me another one over here. Head nods on the camera. Beautiful. Yeah, you cut the crap out of that turn. Look, good job, man. Right turn's next. Right in the middle. Last time he was a little bit over. That time when he turned the bars aggressively and he held it there. Friction brake, friction brake. I'll take it. All right. Head and eyes. It's so funny. You don't even realize it, but when you looked at the cones, your head went like this. Just a slight move. I see it. Smooth stop. Good. On the camera. Good, good. All right, we're going to work on holding that longer so you're not like this. You're like that. Again, that's first world problem, but it's excellent. Right turn's next. Smooth stop, friction brake. It's too early. You got to be in the box. All right. Good job. One more. Smooth stop at the end. Head and eyes up. Head and eyes on the camera. Easy on that brake. Not bad at all. You will definitely benefit from some higher bars. Because when you go to make a turn, your elbow is in your body. Okay? Right turn's next. Straight through, Jerome. Straight through. Slow down. Good. Remember, this is where you're getting your speed together. Good. Keep the clutch there. Drag the brake. Start turning. Clutch, 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 clutch. Stall. So you know what? It's so funny. 3 times over there, your bike stalled. That's because you're not keeping the throttle loaded. You're starting to move without following the first 5 steps. And then when you drop the bike here, same thing, stall. So all that is preload. So remember, when you preload, I want that step number 3 is preload the throttle. I want you to hear it. Matter of fact, for now, I want you to look down at the tachometer and see if it's not at 2,000, it's too low. That's how I want you to think. But when you see the number, I want you to associate the sound. So you don't have to look at it anymore. Because if you're riding, you can't look at it, but I want you to hear it. Okay? Right turn's next. Don't look at the cones. Look where you want to go. Rear brake, rear brake. Now, once you're riding, you don't need to still be at 2,000. Remember, we start around there because it's going to drop anyway. But once I'm in the middle of my maneuvers, I don't have to be at 2,000. Sometimes I'll go up there. It all depends on what I'm doing. Straight through, straight through. Head and eyes on that camera. Keep looking at it. Good job. I see his eyes dipping down to those cones. You don't need to look at the cones. You can still see them without looking directly at them. Head and eyes on that camera. All right. Good, good. Look at him on that camera. On that camera. All right, so let's keep in mind. I don't need you looking at the camera from over there. Remember, if head and eyes handlebars are right before you're going to turn, that's when you look. All right. And that happens. Sometimes people focus on it so much that they're looking way over here. No, I want you to still be looking where you're headed. Straight through, head and eyes on my camera. Rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. Yep. He was going too fast. He wasn't going to make that turn without leaning. When I slowed him down, that slowing, that change of speed, he was like, oh no, I don't like this. Good. Straight through, straight through. Good. Keep that speed. Start turning, start turning. Clutch, 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 clutch. Keep it loaded. He has the throttles low. Keep it loaded. Good job. He leaned there, but that's okay. Lucky the bike didn't stall because there was like almost zero throttle. Straight through. Head and eyes on that camera. Keep looking at it. Excellent, Mark. Excellent. Good. Head and eyes. Clutch, clutch. There we go. Nice, Mark. I mean, Mike. See, his bike is starting to lean, but it's only because of the same thing, not addressing it right away. Good. Head nice. Hold that turn. Hold it. There we go. Right in the middle. Beautiful. Good. Drag the rear brake. Keep the clutch where it is. Hold that turn. Hold it. Hold it. Nice. Right in the middle. Good. Straight through. Straight through. Good. Head and eyes. Turn. Rear brake. Clutch. Clutch. Hold that turn. Hold it. Excellent, man. Excellent. Love it when a plan comes together. Smooth stop. Nice. All right. Straight through. Head and eyes on the camera. Keep looking at it. Hold that turn. There we go. Excellent. Smooth stop. All right. Straight through. Beautiful. All right, smooth stop, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. All right, straight through. Looking good, Bill. Good, hold that turn, hold it. There we go, woo! We ain't stopping yet. Smooth stop. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. See, you're coming out of a lot of speed, that's why the bike is, I want you to stop smooth, just like over there. All right, straight through. Head and eyes on my camera. Rear brake, rear brake. Good job, man. Straight through. Slow down. Good. Good. Maintain that speed. Keep the clutch where it is. Start turning. Rear clutch. Keep it loaded. Keep it loaded. You need higher bars too. Not bad, man. Good job. No, not bad. Excellent. All right, smooth stop, and you can take a break. Hold it, hold it. Outstanding. And if you held it, you'd have been right there. Might have been a foot. Take a break. All right, smooth stop over here. Excellent, take a break. And every time Mike makes this turn, he's waiting for a report. That's what he's waiting for. If he feels falling, clutch, or come off the brake. The movements are so small. Nice, give me another one over here. Keep it loaded. I'll take it, man, good job, take a break. Good, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Still coming with a lot of speed. All right, smooth stop over here. Head nice. Hold that turn, hold that turn. You're good, hold it. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Good job, Kent. Take a break. Straight through. Clutch, clutch. Good, we're going straight through. Keep that throttle loaded. Listen to it. Rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. Good, good. Excellent, man. Excellent. Take a break. Woo! Oh, man. Guys, let me tell you something. If you saw Jerome yesterday at that rodeo, there's no other word to describe it. He was terrible. He was duck walking the bike. He was all over the front brake. Look at that, man. I almost feel like he was punking me. Anyway, that's just outstanding. We're going to move on to exercise number 5 because now that we started turning, now we are going to start leaning, but we're still going to be turning and transitioning. All right, let's do it. Any questions? Exercise number 4, guys. Yeah, you guys did great. Jerome, thank you for your service. And off camera, I talked to Jerome about how, I asked him, has he been riding a motorcycle prior to he bought this bike on Father's Day? And he told me no. And Kent and I both said wow at the same time because that is the highest failure rate. And wait till you go back and watch it. Not only did you make it, you're right in the middle, right? The only issue you were having there is keeping it loaded. Like that's usually not the case. Usually it's too much speed. Your speed was fine. Just very impressive, man. Very impressive. All right. That exercise, we introduced turning. Now we're going to introduce leaning and turning and transitioning. That's this, exercise number 5, single serpentine. So important, guys, more important than people think. This exercise is not just about doing this. Every exercise out here is not just about getting through it. It's how you get through it. They're supposed to be working on techniques. In this exercise, we're working on leaning, turning, and transitioning, right? And we have to do these things. Well, the good thing is we're not going to be going too fast. We're not going to be going as slow as we were there because we need to be able to lean. So we have to speed up, but we still need to be able to turn, so we can't be going too fast. So we got to kind of split the difference. The cones are 15 feet apart. I'm only telling you that for informational purposes. How you see my motorcycle positioned, the only way my bike's going to get like that, I had to have started from right here, not from here. I don't want you hugging my cones. I want you wide on every turn. Start wide, stay wide. So this is where it all starts. Holding turns buys you space and time. I want you guys to say that. Holding turns buys you space and time. Remember that. That's going to be relevant every exercise after this, including this one. When I did that, when I did that bleeding ulcer exercise, the first few times I did it, I said, this is impossible. Impossible. And then I realized, again, I'm overthinking it. Look back to all it is what we're going to be doing. Offset double serpentine. What do you got?
So we're not actually trying to stay to them, like looping kind of through them is acceptable?
What do you mean?
Like, kind of like you
Yeah.
all the way
You can do that. Just make sure you don't go outside these lines.
Okay.
Right? Now, does it have to be that wide? No. But keep this in mind, too. When I do this exercise, I do this exercise brakeless. Right? Usually, I'm still covering it. I want you to cover it regardless if you're using it or not. But the reason it's easier to do this brakeless is because once I get a good speed, because I'm going wide, it's helping regulate my speed. Keep in mind, when you turn your handlebars, you're creating drag. It's going to slow you down anyway. So if I got a good spot, I'm at level stage 2 in the friction zone, just turn, transition, lean and transition. I don't have to change anything. But we cover the rear brake because, again, look how close I am to that cone. That's how you want to start. If I start here, it's going to tighten as I go up. Right. It's the same with all of these exercises. That bleeding ulcer was one of them. If I start it wrong, but the good thing about this exercise is you can correct it. How do I correct it? Slow down, lean more, or hold the turn. It buys you space and time. So I tell people to start like this and start wide, and here's what people do. They start turning here. So now they're right where I don't want them to be. Right. And I learned over time why people do that, because nobody wants to turn beyond this. And if I turn early, this is all I have to turn. So this is the exercise where we're going to start really showing this bike who the boss is. We're going to start bossing it around, because not only are we turning and leaning, but then we have to transition. And if you transition slowly, you're losing space. But if you're going slow, you don't have to worry about a really quick transition because you got space and time. So I want you guys to approach this like this, and I don't want you to turn until you're about right here. And when you make this turn, dip it into this turn and hold it. If you turn and then start turning immediately, this is where you're going to end up. Right where I don't want you, hugging the cone. That's when we're hitting bags and all that kind of stuff. So when I turn, I'm going to hold the turn, transition out here. Look at all this space now I have from this cone. And I'm going to hold this. Don't start coming out. Hold it. Transition. Now, as I'm transitioning, right, because I'm going so wide, transition. As I'm transitioning, I'm still moving. So I'm still going out. So I'm good. I don't need to do it really quickly. Boom. Now hold this turn. I'm leaning too. 3 things determine the radius of a turn. We're using all of them here, right? And because I'm leaning, you don't have to lean excessively in here, okay? All right, demo. Start wide, stay wide. Friction zone, wherever it is, I'm going to keep it there. Preload. Listen to it. Hold it there the whole time. Why am I holding it the whole time? Because I'm in the friction zone the whole time. Dip it. Dip it. Start wide, stay wide. Head and eye, straight ahead. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. If you start wide and stay wide, and the whole key here is fluidity. That's what I want to see. I want you to be one with the motorcycle. If it's not like that right away, at some point it will be. That's why we practice. Wrinkled t-shirt. Questions? All right, we got Mark going first. Dip it in. Good. Good. Head nice straight ahead. He's doing it with no rear brake. Nice, Mark. Mark has a car tire on the back of that motorcycle for anybody that thinks you can't lean a motorcycle with a car tire. Of course you can, it's just not going to lean as easy. Very nice, Mike. Got Bill here. Keep it loaded. Keep it loaded. I'm listening to that throttle and I hear it chug-a-lugging. We want to keep everything exactly the way it was from the start. Dip it in. Good. Right now he's looking at the cone. See how close he is to this cone? Dip it in. Good. Head and eye. Straight ahead. Not bad. Right now, Jerome's starting. I see 2 feet coming up. That means he's not starting covering the rear brake. Dip it in. Transition. Good. Transition. Cover the rear brake. Cover the rear brake. Cover it. I didn't say you have to use it, but you got to cover it. Remember, I said we're covering it in case you need it. Just tap it. Now right here, all right, this time Mark is covering the rear brake. The last time he wasn't, and he didn't have to, because again, I'm sure that's something he's practicing now, because that's where he is. Jerome is not there yet, so I want him covering the rear brake, because I need him to be accustomed to doing it. Excellent. Head and eye, straight ahead. Keep that speed constant. Keep it loaded. It's chug-a-lugging. It's chug-a-lugging. And Bill loses the concentration sometimes when it comes to, once he starts maneuvering those bars, then the preload starts going down. Good. Transition. Not bad at all. Hey, Mark, U-turn's next, Mark. Good, dip it in, hold it, transition. Good, transition. Good, keep it loaded, keep the speed constant. Transition, dip it in. Not bad at all. All right, guys, we started leaning. Now it's time to start leaning in a U-turn. Everybody loves the U-turns, right? That's coming up next. So the first time we did that exercise, Mark went through, foot's nowhere near the rear brake. Looks beautiful. Jerome comes through, foot's not on the rear brake. Jerome. Cover that rear brake, man, because he's there, so he's just trying to practice something different, right? I need you covering it, because if you need to make a correction, I want you to be right there. Plus, I keep seeing you start the bike. I tell people all the time, Bill's been doing it all day, but I gave up on Bill. I can tell if you're not following the first 5 steps from all the way across the parking lot. Because when you start, if I see 2 feet come up, you're not covering the rear brake. And that's what you keep doing. Right now, because this is your first time, you got to do everything by the book. Trust me, we need to get that muscle memory in there. So these stalls that you're having, all that's going to go away if you follow those first 5 steps. Make sure it's in first gear, cover the rear brake, preload, and keep it loaded. Bill, what I noticed about you, and that's the issue that you were having in the Snowman, it actually starts right here. When you have to start manipulating the bars or do anything like that, you forget about the preload. So now your bike is starting to chug, right? Yeah, same thing. But, dude, I'm telling you, man, some people just adapt to stuff naturally. Right now, that's you, because I'm watching you go through these cones, and although you weren't going as wide as I wanted you to, I'm watching the way in which you're doing your transitions, and kind of, it looks good already. So, yeah, you're going to be a beast out here, man, if you keep up with it. And you're going to be that guy. Now, when you go to Harley-Davidson and you pull up and you do one of those 90-degree turns, smooth stop, foot down, back up, it starts a conversation every time. Every time. All right. That brings us to exercise number 6, the infamous U-turn. It's rightfully named infamous U-turn because it is. Now, if you've been to these practice sessions before, you're like, something doesn't look right here, Rob. I just changed something around. This is usually here. And usually the 18-foot box is on this side. Today I put it here. So let me do something a little different. Sometimes just changing one little thing will mess with people, right? I'm not trying to mess with you. In full disclosure, it's like that because I screwed up. And I said, screw it, I'm not changing it. So, but then as soon as I thought that, I said, oh yeah, but the good thing is, it's something a little bit different. Here are the keys, guys, to making a successful U-turn. Now you have 27 feet high as far as the width up here. So when you come in here to make your U-turn, we're going to be making left U-turns first. So that means you're going to come in right where Mark is through here and then make the U-turn. If you want to try it in 18 feet, you're going to come in here and do it right here. All right, that's only going to be Mike. Nobody else is trying that. But if you want to try 18 feet, you can still try it up here, but at least you won't have any cones to get in your way. What I am going to say to you before I say anything else to you is when you make your U-turn, when you come out of your U-turn, I want you facing straight. So if you come out of the U-turn and you're facing like this, now that I told you that, now you know in that moment you were not in control of the motorcycle, right? Straight. All right. So with that being said, when we're making right turns, if you decide to go up here and try to 18 feet and you don't make it, if you end up over here where Mike is, don't try to hold that turn and come back in here because now you're not, that's not the end. Straight, that's where you are, okay? All right. So the keys to this, guys, is like I said earlier in exercise number 4, when I said on the approach, that's when you need to get, that's your time to preload. I like the way it sounds. Keep it there. Listen to it. That's what I listen to. I pay so much attention to it. One time I was out here practicing. I had my music blasting on my street glide, and I felt the discomfort because it was so loud I couldn't hear my preload. So I turned that shit down. So preload, good. Clutch, what stage am I in? Stage 2? I like it. Stay there. Now all I have to do, what comes first, Jerome? Head and eyes or handlebars?
Head and eyes.
That's right. All I have to do is turn my head and my eyes, and I'm not going to turn like this. Turn them. Turn my head and my eyes, and turn my handlebars. When I turn my handlebars, I'm going to turn them like I mean it. Again, nothing crazy, but I'm not going to mosey them either. Head and eyes, handlebars. And when I turn them, I'm going to keep them turned, but more importantly, I'm going to commit to my lean right there, right away. This is why people's turns are so wide. The reluctancy to lean the motorcycle. Now, I'm going to guarantee you, if you turn the handlebars right away, because some people do this, head and eyes, handlebars, you're losing space. If you turn the handlebars right away and you commit to the lean right away, you don't have to turn as much and you don't have to lean as much. You have to lean more and turn more when you wait. I told you earlier, most of the things that we deal with, we create by not dealing with stuff sooner. So, head and eyes, handlebars, commit and hold it. Wherever I'm in the friction zone I showed you earlier, I'm just going to stay there. I'm using the rear brake to regulate my speed. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Now I can come out. If you do a U-turn like that, I'm giving you 27 feet. I want 24. That's a country road. All day, you're going to make that, as long as you're not going too fast. All right, so make sure you watch your speed. But don't be that person that says, head knife, handlebars. They slow down. Now you can't lean. Now they're doing the turn straight up. All right, we don't want that. I want lean. Nothing here has to be excessive. Handlebar turns, leans, none of that. No full locks. It's not necessary for 24 feet. We good?
Good.
First time we do it, we're going to make a left, going straight through. Second time, we're going to come to a smooth stop. I'm going to be standing there telling you where to stop. Smooth stop. Even though you're coming from there, if you got a good enough speed, before you get to me, slow that bike down so that you're stopping like we were stopping there. Smooth. And then make the U-turn. And then lastly, stop, U-turn, stop, and then we're going to do the same thing going right.
If we try 18, are we coming on the inside of this? Or are you coming
Yep.
outside of that?
No, inside of this. For the left, and then on that side for the right. I'm going to do a demo, but first I'm going to show you something. Jerome, how fast am I going here? Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Now my clutch comes in. Clutch was in the same place the whole time.
About 10, 12.
10, 12? How fast?
At 8.
7.
8. 7 to 9.
Yeah, 7 to 8. That's what I'm doing. And that's the reason I show that to you is because I want you to understand if you do feel a reluctancy to lean, understand that the U-turn you're making, yes, you will be going 10 to 12 miles per hour. And you're not going to be leaning that much. I'm doing that to the extreme, and the bike's not going to fall. That's my point. Even at that extreme, at that lower speed. Okay? All right. Demo. Again, as I'm approaching, that's when I'm getting it together. My preload, what stage I am in the friction zone, and a little bit of pressure on the rear brake. Trust and believe. All right, that's a good speed. Head and knife, handlebars, rear brake, hold it, hold it, hold it. Straighten out. Come off the brake. Without the rear brake. It's this clutch. But we're using the brake. Smooth stop. Friction brake, clutch is open, now it's closed. Before I move, I'm going right before the friction zone. Good. Clutch open, head and eyes, hold it, hold it. Hold it, hold it. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Smooth stop, over here. Head and eyes, hold that turn. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. So guys, let me say, when it's time for you to stop, you have all of this space to stop. I don't want you to feel like you have to come out of this turn. No, take your time. I just want to stop smooth, all right? All right, let's do it. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh my God, you need a Harley, man. Oh my God. So yeah, I talked to Mark. The only thing holding Mark back from making the turns he wants to make, 18 feet turns, is his motorcycle. Good job, man. Head knives. Yeah, 0 head knives, man. Head knives. No, we're not stopping. He's actually like this. His head is down. He's leaning with the bike. That's 40 push-ups. Not bad. Commit earlier. Commit earlier. 40. You duck walking the bike. I didn't see it. I felt it. Clutch, clutch. Doing trust and believe. Good. Maintain that speed. Keep the clutch out. You pulled it in. You're looking at the ground the whole time. And again, I expected to. Do it again. I expect him to look at the ground. I expect it. He's new. Head nice. Oh, man. Beautiful, Mark. That's what Mark's been telling me he wants to do, man. At 18 feet. Straight through. Oh, man, that was beautiful. You get that turn even tighter if you're leaning more right away.
Yeah.
Commit earlier.
I'm not locked either.
Yeah. Go ahead, knives on me. Come to me. Clutch, 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 clutch. Outstanding, man. Go down a little, a little. Head and knives, handlebars. Turn him, turn him. Not bad, not bad. Good, good. Head and knives, handlebars. Turn it, turn it. Good, good. Head and knives on me. Clutch, clutch. Good. It's coming. It's coming. Dude, that last U-turn, that's the best U-turn I've ever seen you make, man. That was just beautiful.
You're gonna cost me money.
Straight through, man, straight through. He's been practicing. Head nice. Good. Good job, good job, good job. All right, coming over here, okay. Smooth, stop. All right. Head nice, commit. There we go, there we go. Good. Smooth stop, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. There we go. All right, straight through. Head knives on me. Good. Hold that turn. Clutch. Good job, man. Smooth stop. Yeah, see, too much speed. So these bars are not helping you too. When you're trying to turn, you're like this. I want you to feel your elbow touching your body. I want you to turn those bars some more. Okay?
What size do you have?
12.
About the same 12.
Yep, 12. Like same thing with my limited. 12. That's perfect. All right. Commit earlier. Turn the bars, but I need you to commit to that lean.
Okay.
And hold the turn. Head knives on me. Good. Commit. Turn it. There we go. Straight through. Straight through. Good. Straight through. Straight through. Head and knives, handlebars. Drag the brake. Turn it. Turn it. Hold the turn. See, you're slowing down too much. Don't worry about the cones. But are you guys noticing? As much as he's kind of struggling with that, no feet are coming down. And that's what I'm looking at, because the feet coming down is a bigger problem. All right, smooth stop. All right, I want that stop smoother, but the U-turn is just beautiful, man. Right turn is next. All right, smooth stop. Good, commit. Hold that turn, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. Nice, smooth stop. All right, right turn next. Good job. Good, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Smooth stop. Oh, damn. So again, if I don't tell you to look at me, that whole turn, right turn's next. Good job, man. Slow down, slow down. All right, smooth stop over here. Head and eyes, commit. Good, hold that turn, hold it, hold it. Straighten out, friction brake, friction brake. Everybody's stop is not smooth. I'm gonna talk to him about it. Straight through. Go ahead and eyes, handlebars, turn it. Turn it, clutch, clutch. Whoa, what the hell? All right, so what most of you are doing is when you go to make a U-turn, in the middle of the U-turn, you're speeding up. And it's not necessary. Like I told you, if you find an appropriate speed, you just stay at that speed. Everything's working, right? That's why I showed you me going 7 to 8 miles per hour with the boards on the floor. If I can go that slow, you don't need to speed up. Your speed's fine, right? Now, Jerome already knows what he did. He said there was a lack of concentration or whatever. But I think we can all agree there's no reason for us to ever be that close to that pole, right? That's just, and that's what a lot of people do when they go, oh crap, they open up the clutch, right? But again, if I show you guys, if I'm going to make a U-turn, like I don't have to speed up in the turn. And I'm doing it from a stop. And I'm letting the bike fall from a stop. So trust me, when you go to make your turn, if you're going too slow, I'll tell you right from the start. If you're going too fast, I'll tell you. Nobody was going too fast and nobody was going too slow. But then in the middle of it, all this speed. That's why at the end, nobody's stop is smooth. Nobody's. Too much speed. So now you're trying to stop out of all that speed. Nice and easy, guys, all right? Nice. And again, remember, you guys are stopping hard there. I told you, you got all of this space. Take the time to get it to a nice smooth stop, all right? Right turns. Let's do it. Excellent, but I want you coming out straight. But I don't give a damn, man. Your rights are better than your lefts, I told you.
Trying for that 18-footer.
Trying? You did it. It was less than 18. I told him his rights are better than his lefts. I mean, oh my God, the left was good. The right was even better. Nice, Mike. Oh my God. Mark, the work he's been putting in. Head knife, good? Yeah, your rights are better than your left too. Counterbalance, counterbalance. He's leaning with the bike. Good, head and knife, handlebars, rear brake. Head and knife on me. All right.
Love your cone.
Yeah. He said, I love your cones. You can't stop looking at them. Good, keep your speed up. Head and knife, handlebars, turn them. You're looking at those cones. There we go, good recovery, good recovery. Good job. Nice. Come out straight, Mark. Come out straight. I'm not taking anything away from that U-turn. It's beautiful. I want him coming out straight. We got to know when to start righting the motorcycle. See, it's a hesitation right there. Yeah. That's what's it. Otherwise, you're fine, man. Remember, commit to the lean right away. Right there, he doesn't commit right away. It's a quick hesitation. Go, head and eyes on me. Handlebars, clutch, rear brake, hold that turn. Nice. Head nine, good, hold that turn, rear brake, rear brake. Yeah, you're looking at every cone over there. Kent is obsessed with those cones. Yeah, I know. He said, I'm looking at the green one. You're looking at more than that, Kent. Head nice, come here, turn those boards. Rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. Hold that turn. Nice. All right, right turn. Head nice. Nice. See how his bike's still coming out to the right? So when we're out here training, guys, there's levels to it. There's levels to it. So now that's going to be his next focus, bringing that bike straight. Good. Now commit to that lean right away, Mike. Nah, you're still hesitant. You don't like it. You don't like it.
I don't like right turns.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I got you. Mike said, I don't like right turns. Smooth stop. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. There we go. Straight through. Go ahead, nice. Hold that turn. Yeah, you actually had to come out of it. That would have been even tighter. Nice. Yeah, because of these cones here, he actually had to come out of that. So yeah, I'm not surprised. All right, it's not smooth. Too much speed, Kent.
Okay.
You're looking at every cone on the outside, not just the green one.
I thought those green cones were what we were supposed to look at, but that's just to come up here and stop.
No, those green cones are for the next exercise.
I got you.
You're supposed to be looking at me.
I got you.
When you turn your head and eyes, look at me. Go ahead, nice. Look at me. See right there, he's up. Now he's lean. He slows down at the top, and then and the bike straightens up. He's still good, but there's still a level of stress there, and that's the goal here. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going too slow now. Can't lean. Head nice. Keep it loaded. Good, good, good. Keep it loaded. All right, smooth stop. Now by adding the smooth stop, usually that'll help people slow down a little bit. Not all the time. Good, there we go. That was much better. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Yep, see? It could be a coincidence, but just by me telling you, you have to stop. Now when you come out of that excellent U-turn, your bike is straight. Every other time it was that way, too much speed. Next exercise. Take a break, take a break. All right, smooth stop. Commit right away. Head and eyes, commit. Smooth stop, smooth stop, smooth stop. I still want my stop. Good, take a break. Good, smooth stop, friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. I'll take it. You give up right at the end. That's why the bike's going like that. Smooth into that stop. All right, make up for it over here. Preload. Easy on that brake. Smooth stop. Yeah, you're a little heavy on that brake. But yeah, this is the only thing preventing you from being right here. You actually got to come out of it. So that's a first world problem. Take a break, man. Good job. Slow down, smooth stop, friction brake, friction brake. Yeah, the smooth stops have disappeared. Every stop is like this. I don't want to see any compression in that front suspension. That's how smooth I want that stop to be. And that's because you're coming with a lot of speed. Make it, redeem yourself, smooth stop over here. Good, commit. Hold that turn, hold it. Keep it lean. Straighten out, friction brake, friction brake. All right, it's still abrupt here. What's happening is every time you get to the top of that U-turn, you straighten up. Then you go back into the lean. You start lean, slow down.
Not holding it?
Yeah, you're not holding it.
Okay.
So you're still in here, but I want it tighter. Take a break. Straight through. Keep that speed. Head and eyes, rear brake. Hold that turn. Turn it. Clutch. Smooth stop, smooth stop. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. All right, take a break, man. Cover the brake. Just cover it. You don't have to use it. All right, guys. Next exercise, 7, figure 8, right here. Just got to move around some cones. That wasn't bad at all. We're going to talk about it. So I often say the evolution of fill in the blank. Today is the evolution of Mark. Man, oh man. He just looks good as hell on that motorcycle, man. Good as hell on that motorcycle. And I'm going to tell you right now, yeah, you buy a Harley if you want to turn tighter than you already are, but it's just not necessary, right? It's not necessary because right now you can ride circles around a lot of people that ride Harleys. They got the bike, they could do it. They just can't do it, right? Listen, guys. I'm impressed with the way all of you are riding. And I talk often about being an average motorcycle rider. Are you an average, above, or below motorcycle rider?
I don't know.
How about you, Kent?
I'm a little above average.
Above average.
Yeah, average. Below average. I'm above now.
Yeah. All of you are above average riders. If you go back and watch the video I did on this, it's titled, Are You an Average Motorcycle Rider? You'll understand why all of you are above average. Because averages are determined by the majority. The majority of men in this country are 5'9" in that realm. So that's why that's average height. Anything above that is above average height. Below that's below average height. 98% of people in this country don't really know how to operate a motorcycle properly. 98%. So that's the average. Has to be. It's the most people. So it doesn't take much at all to be an above average rider. But you really got to suck to be below average, right? So I want you to keep that in mind. That what you guys are doing out here, 98% of motorcycle riders can't do it. 98%. Like if I really think about it, it makes my stomach hurt because it's so egregious. So I don't want you to take anything that you guys are doing out here lightly. Trust me, they can't do it. Doesn't mean they're not capable of it. They don't want to face the fear. But education is the opposite of fear, right? And that's why you guys are here. So you leave here knowing all of you are above average, right? I'd even go a step further and say you're well above average, right? Anyway, I need you to know that, right? Because the biggest thing I'm trying to do out here is build people's confidence. Everything follows confidence. So once your confidence goes up, you know, you start doing stuff like this guy. We learn in stages, and that's how we have to be. The problem is people want to start at 7. No, you got to start at 1. So now he's doing stuff without the brake. That's what he's trying to do now. Now he's trying to make U-turn. So he makes a U-turn just beautiful. And here I come. It's an excellent U-turn. But didn't I tell you I want you to come out straight? Because now he's perfected one part of it. Now we got to get the other. The other is, why is he? I'm going to ask you, Mark, why are you coming out facing this way instead of straight?
I think because I'm trying to get a tighter radius.
Yeah.
Trying to stay within these 2 lines.
That's not it, because you always start, if you're trying to make an 18-foot turn, yeah, you're trying to stay into the 2, you're trying to stay within the 2 lines. The problem is you're just holding the turn too long. That's all that is. It's a timing thing. So now, and keep this in mind, if you speed up in the turn, that's going to make it more difficult to come out too. That's why I showed you. You don't need that extra speed. If the speed's good, just keep it there and just ride that turn. You're fine. All right. Any questions on that? Exercise number 7, guys. This is the figure 8. And I think this might be the first time everybody does it. We'll see. There's no pressure. I meant to say that from the beginning. There's never any pressure out here, guys. You don't have to do everything out here. This exercise, you have the same width. So if you knocked it out the park with the U-turns, that's all we're doing here are 2 U-turns with transitions in the middle. That's the entrance. That's the exit. Everybody here familiar with a ka-ching? Ka-ching? No. Exactly. In this exercise, and I have to be clear about this because when I was out in Colorado and the person did the exercise, if you do this exercise successfully, you don't put a foot down, you don't hit a cone. 2 figure 8s and go out. You're going to hear a ka-ching sound. Now, that's all I said in Colorado, and they said, what? The lady said, what happened to my ka-ching? I'm not making the sound, but when the video comes out, you'll hear it. Okay? It's going to go ka-ching, but it's got to be perfect. If you just nick a cone, no ka-ching, but don't worry about that. When you come in here, guys, here's the key to success. Kent was asking about those green cones. Now, this is when they're relevant. The only person here that has a fixed fairing motorcycle. Hey, Mike, I think your bike's on. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Is it on?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Mike and Mark, only people with fixed fairing motorcycles. So what that means is they don't have any clue where the front wheel is. It's not that bad on Mike's bike. But like a Road Glide, a Challenger, a Pursuit, yeah, you can't see. So we have to work on wheel placement too. We talked about that earlier. This is the vicinity of where I want your front wheel. I want you to get it as close to this line as possible. Now keep in mind, it doesn't have to be that close to it. If you're struggling with 27 feet, you need to get it close because whatever you give up here, it's going to catch you over there. Same thing at the top. I want you to go all the way to the top. If you start your turn here, whatever you give up here, you're going to have to make up for it down there. Now, if you lean the bike a lot, you don't need all of this space, and that's fine. Use your space wisely. Head and eyes. Look at that green cone. Handlebars. Go for it. Hold this turn. Come all the way to the top. Hold it. Hold it. When I get to the 12 o'clock spot, now I'm going to look at that green cone. That's the cone I'm going to. Hold this turn. Hold it. Now I want a fat figure 8. What that means is, what is holding turns by you? Space and time. That's right. So I'm not going to start coming out of my turn here because I'm just robbing myself. Hold the turn. Transition. When I transition, I want to be facing that way. If I do that, look at all the space I gave myself. Transition. Head and eye. Find that green cone again. Use all the space that you need. Hold it. As soon as I get to 12 o'clock, that's where I'm going. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Holding turns buys me space and time. I'm not coming out here. I'm holding it. Holding it. Holding it. Head and eyes transition. And when you transition like like you're a boss. Remember, that transition also is going to be determined by you and your speed. If you transition too late, you're going to go outside the exercise. If you do it too early, you're going to start this turn too early, and it might catch you over here. All right? That's it. You do it twice. I'm going to give you a demo, and then you get out and you get a ka-ching. Now, the first time I do it, I'm going to use all of the space, and then the second time I go around, I'm going to do it in 4 spaces. You let me know what's different. What did I change? I like that speed. Keep my clutch right where it is. Drag the rear brake. Hold this turn. Head and eyes. Hold it. Hold it. Transition. All the way to the top. hold it, hold it, hold it. Transition. Clutch is still in the same spot. Now what did I change? What did I change, Jerome, when I took it to 4 spots?
Your lean
What else?
and the
Clutch didn't change. Everything stayed the same.
handlebar.
Handlebars, that's it. Speed was exactly the same because I didn't change my clutch. All right, a little bit of pressure on the rear brake, that's all I need. All right, let's do it. All right, Mark's first. Figure 8, butterflies flying by. That's a good sign or bad, we'll see. See, right there, that's a lot of speed, so he's wide. Watch your speed, Mark. Wow, look at this, man. He did that really early, so clutch, clutch, good, good, good. Outstanding, Mark, outstanding. Beautiful. Oh my God. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And rightfully so. Shit, that was so good, I might give him 2 ka-chings. Yeah, you know what, Mark? Here's another one. Nice. Nice head and eyes. Nice head and eyes. Excellent. All right, he's early, very early. But he doesn't need all of this space. So he's good. See how he's leaning with the bike? Keep it loaded! Gotta watch that throttle. Because as good as this is, that's the one thing that'll put him down. Head and eyes, good, good, good. Excellent. All right, so he gave up space at the top, but he needs all of this space. Hold that turn, hold it, transition. Now he's early, early. Yeah, he doesn't have that space to give up. Too early. Oh no, so look how tight that turn is. That's what I'm talking about. Clutch, clutch. Now we're going to talk about that. That happens all the time. He was line to line in the U-turn box. He comes in here, he's way off the line and makes that U-turn. Too early, way too early, way too early. You got to be at the top. Hold that turn, hold that turn. All right. Come right here. Come on, come on. Keep the throttle loaded. Hold that. Look at the U-turn right there. All right, shut it down, shut it down, shut it down. Keep it loaded. Keep it loaded. So what he's noticing, I notice a lot of people do that. If I say keep it loaded, the bike speeds up. I don't mean speed up, I mean keep it loaded. Keep the throttle loaded. RPMs are too low. The goal is to keep it steady. Your clutch, the throttle, keep it steady. If you have to make adjustments, it's not going to be with the throttle. It's going to be with the rear brake or it's going to be with the clutch. Excellent, man. Take a break. Take a break. And you can tell that Mark's got the fever because that's what he's doing. In between. Always practicing. He can't stop turning now. I love it. Mike here, looking good. The head and eyes are excellent here. Good job, man. Take a break. His head and eyes are better in these U-turns and stuff than it is right turns, left turns from a stop. And that's good because it's more important making U-turns because stuff's happening behind you. Good, good. Good job, man. Take a break. Excellent. All right, so Kent's not ready for this. He's got to practice some more. But he's ripping himself off at the top. That's the main thing. Come all the way here. Too early, too early. But see, look, he's making this U-turn again. Hold it, transition. There we go. Lean it over. You got to lean that bike over. Go ahead, keep going. Keep going, lean it over. Head and eyes, open the clutch. Hold it. All right. Good job, Kent. And last, Jerome. All the way to the top, Go, hold that turn. Hold it. All right, shut it down, man. I hope you're not getting, no, I don't mean shut the bike down. I mean, next exercise. Cover that rear brake. Good. All right, guys, we're gonna move on to exercise number 8, offset double serpentine. And we're gonna talk about what happened in here with Kent and these U-turns. A couple of things, man. I loved it. This is why it doesn't matter how many practice sessions people watch. It could be the same exercises, but it's different people, different things happen. So there's always, I call it nuggets of information. Kent, every U-turn you made when we did exercise number 6, line to line. This is the second time this has happened, maybe more. It shows you the power of the mind. Everyone line to line. You come in now to do a figure 8, now that you're not thinking about a U-turn, you're way off the line. That's why I'm going too early, but you're making the U-turn with no problem. You did that shit twice. So you went from 27 feet to 24 because you're not trying to make a U-turn. You're just thinking about a figure 8. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Jerome, just keep it loaded, right? And all that's going to come together. Again, most people in your position, they've already checked out. They're not trying this. And usually I recommend that because I'm not trying to get you to leave here feeling down. I want you to feel accomplished. And dude, you're well. But what I do want you to do is, listen, when you're here in a practice frame of mind. That means you should be following the first 5 steps every time before you move the bike, and you're not. You just want to go. You want to go. So I'm watching you. The bike's moving like this. You don't have it ready to pick your feet up yet. Make sure it's in first gear. Cover the rear brake. Preload the throttle, and that way when you open up the clutch, the bike's not falling. It's falling because you're just opening the clutch with no preload. Mark, beautiful. And what did Mark do at the end of it? So now I got to sync up the ka-ching with his hand, right? I like when people do that because it makes me have to do that. But I want everybody to keep in mind the way he's turning that bike. He's got a car tire on the back of that damn motorcycle, right? So for people that think you can't lean, it's harder to lean, and he's still killing it. So that's all I got to say about that. Excellent head and eyes. Your head and eyes are better making those kind of turns than left and right turns. Why? I don't understand, but that's a good thing because it's more important because the other turn, left turns, right turns, all right, your peripheral vision can kind of see, but when you're making U-turns, it's happening behind you. So that's more important to turn your head before you commit. Beautiful. Excellent in there too. You don't need all the space or you don't use it. I don't know if your handlebars are going to prevent it, but I want you to counterbalance them. What's going to help you? Right now, you're leaning with the turns. You're kind of doing the same thing, Kent. But again, you got those low-ass bars too, but you're taller, so. All right, that brings us to, any questions? That brings us to exercise number 8, the offset double serpentine.
Let me interrupt you a minute.
Go ahead.
What should be our posture? Straight up and down?
Yep.
Just move the bike?
That's right. Keep your body straight up and down and let the bike lean under you. Now you'll see when I do if I'm doing a sharp right turn, when I say sharp, leaning a lot, I actually take one butt cheek off the seat because I extremely counterbalance. But it's not necessary for everybody. Right turns were always my worst. And I had to come to the conclusion that's just the way it's going to be. That's when I had stock bars. Once I changed the bars, it changed everything for me, right? Everything. So handlebars make such a big difference. It doesn't make a difference to everybody else because we're just riding like this. But once you actually learn how to ride, you start realizing, I say all the time, becoming the boss of the bike is great. It's going to cost you some money too. Because some of the stuff you got, you're going to say, I can't use this. I got to buy something else. Really, it's just the handlebars.
When you say handlebars make a difference, are you talking about how high they are?
Yes.
Level? You want them level?
No, it doesn't have to be level. See, the
Just
thing about...
your position up and down.
Yes, because the thing about them being higher, that's why it's not just a tall thing. Even a short person, they're still too low. Because if it's higher, I have more pullback. I can't pull them back if they're down here. That's just making it worse. So sometimes, even if you get a 14-inch bar, it sounds high, but if your intention is to pull it toward you, it's not 14 inches up anymore. It's always going to be 14 inches from here, but it's getting closer to you, so you're more comfortable. So I scoot up on the seat because I got an extended reach seat. Balls on the tank always help.
That felt a little weird.
Of course, because you're used to this.
Yeah.
You can get used to anything. Yep.
What brand do you have?
Those are factory 47 bars. But I have Folsom Prison bars. Folsom Prison bars are good. So either way, anything other than those stock bars. Okay. But if I had to make a recommendation, Tab Performance, Folsom Prison bars, and these factory 47s. And that's what I have on my limited as well, factory 47s. All right. Anything else, guys? All right. Exercise number 7, offset double serpentine. 1 gate, 2 gate, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The green cones in here are not for you to look at. It's for if you need extra space. So Jerome, I want you to start out using the green cones. I'll talk to you about the green cones in a second. For the rest of you, what does holding turns buy you, Bill?
I'm sorry.
Holding turns, what does that buy you?
Time and distance.
Space and time, okay. It's an equivalent. Okay, I'll take it. Okay. It reigns supreme in this exercise. Holding turns buys you space and time. To do this properly, just like that bleeding ulcer exercise, holding turns. So that's why my motorcycle, I'm going to that gate, but I'm not entering like this. I want you to enter from here. So you guys are going to, that's why I put Mark first. He knows where to park. Boom, come right in here. But when you get past these cones, do not go straight for that gate. Remember, guys, it's not just about getting through the exercise, it's how you get through it. I need you to be comfortable leaning the bike. So remember exercise number 5, as a matter of fact, 2 of you guys or 3 of you, in between exercise, you were doing the single serpentine. Beautiful. That's what you're doing here. As soon as you pass this cone, dip the bike. That's why I told you in that first exercise, I want you to dip the bike at that first cone. Because we're doing the same thing here. And when you dip it, hold it. Hold it. Head and eyes, handlebars. So now look at all the space I got. Favor the green cone. Hold this turn. Hold it. If I favor the green cone, I'm just using so much of my space wisely. I shouldn't be clipping these cones too close. As soon as I get here, I'm going to look where I came from, that gate. Hold this turn. Now what people do is they hold it and then they go like this. It's too early. Now you're right back where I don't want you. I don't want you facing the gate. I don't want you approaching the gate like this. I want you approaching the gate like this. By approaching the gate like that, you don't have to lean as much. When you don't approach it, when you come out of this turn too early and you come like this, now when you make this turn, you already passed this gate. And what we're not doing is going past the gate and slipping through it. If you do that, I'm just going to shut you down. But here's the good news. If you want to get back on track, all you have to do is hold the next turn. And the price to hold the turns today is free. Holding turns buys you space and time. Dip, hold it, transition. Again, we're being a boss in here, so we're going to kind of manhandle the bike. Head and eyes, transition. Now I know the reason people turn early is because they don't want to turn. So if I turn early, I don't have to turn as much. We're here to be the boss. We're turning and leaning. 2 of the components that we need. Hold this turn. Hold it. Favor the green cone. Hold it. Head and eyes. Look where I came from. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Head and eyes. Transition. Look which way I'm facing when I make my transition. Now I have a ton of space. Green cone. Instead of you coming through this gate, you're going to be on this side of the green cones. And when you come through when you come past these green cones, you're using the same philosophy. As soon as you pass it, dip it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Head and eyes, handlebars. Go around the green cones. Now, you see the green cones, there's a line, then there's another line. Stay inside of the other line. Around the green cone. Hold it. So in your case, you're going to favor this line. You don't want to be right on top of that green cone. Head and eyes, look at the green cone you came from. Hold this turn. Hold it. I want you facing it. And then head and eyes, transition. That's how I want you to. I want big, sweeping turns. That's what I want. Keep your speed constant. Sometimes you guys are struggling with that. And the bike's preload. Keep it loaded. Listen to the throttle. You'll be good. Dip it. Favor the outside cone. Hold it. Transition. Oh, look at all that space. Hold it. Transition. Transition. Easy, girl, easy. All right. Friction brake. Now coming back, I went straight to the gate. I don't want you to do that.
Are we going there and back?
No, just down there and then come around, we'll do it again. Now you don't have to hold it as long as I did. But the point is, hold the turn. I don't want you going straight to that gate. And if you do happen to come out early, hold the next one longer. You'll be right back on track. All right? Let's do it. All right, Mark's coming in first. Dip it here. There we go. No brake right here. Good. And see those dips? See how long he's holding that and then he falls in? That's why he doesn't need the brake. It helps regulate his speed. Just beautiful, Mark. No rear brake the whole time. Beautiful. Mark has become that guy out here. Good. Hold that turn. Good. All right, you're early. Favor the outside cone. Good. Because if that's a high cone, his bag hits it. Good job. Right now, it's the wrong angle. But he leans enough. He can make it up. Too early. There we go. Nice swing out. See, he's going in there early, but he leans a lot, so it's okay. He's fine. Yeah, it doesn't apply to him. He's good. The other way is me trying to get you comfortable leaning. Clearly, he's comfortable leaning. Good. Hold that turn, kid. Hold it. Going too slow. Good. Hold that turn. Hold it. Hold it. See, he's coming out of those turns too early. That's why he's so wide, but it's okay. Oh, he just missed the last one. All right. All right, Jerome. Good. Dip it. Dip it. Dip it. Dip it. Transition. Transition. Good. Hold that turn. Hold that turn. Hold the turn. Hold the turn. Hold the turn. Transition. Go around the green cone. Hold that turn. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Transition. Go around the green cone. Good. Hold that turn. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Transition. I can see his body language. He wants to turn it. Come on. Come on. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Transition. I want the loop. I want the loop. We can work on tightening it up later. Let's just go through it first. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Transition. Let's just get through it first. Let's get the loops down. All right, now he's going to brake. Just beautifully done. Look at the, I mean, everything is beautiful. It's fluid. Head and eyes are good. Outstanding, Mark. All right, Mike, last run. Excellent. Yeah, guys, I get my steps in out here. Nice. Tab performance on the back, 50 calibers. Zombie baffles. Andy Ridge on the feet. Looking good, brother. Nice, man. Good. Hold that turn. Coming out of the turn too early, Ken. You got to hold it. That's why he's so wide out. He's lost right now. Got to hold those turns. All right, and Jerome, want to fast track this. Going through the gate. Good. Hold that turn. Keep it loaded. Coming out too early. Good. Keep going. Use the green cones if you have to. Hold that turn. Still not holding it long enough. Shouldn't be coming at that straight. You should be coming at it from the side. You're not holding the turns long enough. There you go. There you go. Now hold this turn. Hold it. Hold it. Hold. Transition. There we go. It's 10 push-ups. All right, guys. Last numbered exercise. Abominable Snowman. Let's do it. It's going to be abominable today. At least somebody's going to try it. I know that for a fact. Who is it going to be? Mike, maybe. All right. Outstanding. And what Mike said is, now that's a preloader right there. A V.I.Preloader in this case. Because nobody asked him for water. That's just how we do, man, you know? Any questions on that exercise? You guys don't have a lot of questions, and I like that. But at the end of the day, you guys are doing great, like phenomenally great. Holding turns buys you space and time. Kent, you're ripping yourself off because you're not holding those turns. That's the only thing that's going on in there. You hold those turns, it's just so much easier. And Jerome is he's trying to fast track everything he's doing. So the second time he came through, he was like, all right, Rob, screw that green cone. I'm going right through this gate. And that was fine. Hold the first turn, he did that. Then after that, he didn't hold the second turn. So now he's going around the green cones, and that's fine. But that's what those green cones are there. If you want to go through the gate, fine. But if you're not going to make the next one, just go around the green cone. All right, guys. Last numbered exercise. Brian been waiting for this all day. When we came out here before and it started raining and we shut it down, before we left in the rain, come on, can we just do this?
Brian wanted to do it.
Brian and Nikki. And they did it. I recorded. You'll see when that video comes out in January. No, I'm kidding. It's going to be out before that. All right. This is the Abominable Snowman. 4 circles, like he was talking to you about earlier. The green cones just separate the circles. That's all it is. We're standing in the 27-foot circle right now. 25, 22, 18.
Keep your eyes on this.
You don't have to, because I really prefer your eyes be up. But you could. One thing you'll notice, people that do rodeos and anything, you're not going to see a lot of people look. A lot of the times you're looking like this because you're just looking for the next cone. Your head and eyes were just excellent in here too, man. Everything was good. Smooth. The first time he did it brakeless. The next time he did it, he's covering the rear brake and just waiting to see if he needs it. Like I said, he's already graduated, so to speak. And like he said, man, I just love this. He didn't love it this much when it first started. He loved riding, but like I always say this, you're going to love it even more the more you ride. Guys, come on this side. I just noticed Mike's right in front of the camera. So they're going to be looking at his ass in this portion of the video.
No one wants that.
I want you to go on that side of the motorcycle.
Oh, simple.
Just because I want you to see where the wheel is, the front wheel. I parked here for a reason. We're going to do this exercise twice. First time we do it, you're going to start on this side. Second time, I'm going to start on that side. So you're going to right side, left side. Now the beauty of this exercise, just like everything else out here, there's no pressure to go any further than you need to go. And quite frankly, the way I look at this is, in this exercise, this is when I want clean runs. Right? I don't want you to push it in here. Just go through it clean, since this is the last numbered exercise we're going to do. So if clean for you is just the 27-foot circle, then that's all you should do. When you come back in, do it again. If clean for you is this one and then that one, then that's what you should do. I'm not telling you what to do. You can do whatever you want to do. That's just a suggestion. The keys to the success here are placement. Hug 'em, commit. When you come in here, placement is where that front wheel is right now. If I take this bike off the kickstand, then the front wheel's more. I'm right here. Placement. That's where I want you to be. The vicinity of here. It doesn't have to exactly be right there. Placement. And then hug them. I told you I don't want you to hug those cones because they don't like it. these cones are more affectionate. So you can hug these cones. And when I say hug them, hug that cone, come all the way up to the top. Now commit to your turn and hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Jerome, when you first come in here, I want you to hold, everybody's gonna do the same thing. Hold that turn, go all the way around. If you only wanna do this circle, go around again and then go back out. This is your entrance and your exit, right? Unless you go up there and you screw up, then just go out, right? But this is your entrance and your exit. If you wanna keep going, hold the turn, hold the turn. Well, before we even get to that, when you go to make the next turn, on this side, placement. Your placement is going to be between these two cones. Hug them. Hug these two cones all the way to the top and commit. I want you all the way where that wheel is because we're practicing wheel placement. And if I tell you to put the wheel there, but your wheel's here, then you really think you're going to get it right when you get up there? No. So whether you need it or not, that's where I want your wheel. Hug them. Commit. Because I know you want the 18 feet at the top. You don't have shit to give away up there. So you may as well get accustomed now to bringing the bike right there, hugging the cones all the way to the top, and then commit. If you want to keep going around, then you come into this circle, same thing. Placement. Hug them all the way to the top, commit. If that's all you're going to do, go back into the next one and go out. And keep this in mind, guys. Sometimes people come through these cones, the first cones, these cones, and they wind up hitting the green cones because they're trying to get the bike as far over here as possible. It's not necessary. You can bring the bike straight in. Turn the wheel right here. That's your placement. Once you press, the rear wheel is going to kind of come in anyway. Don't worry about it. It's always going to be out and turn. That's all this is, guys. Placement, hug them. No, in this case, yeah, placement, hug them, commit. Hold the turn. Hold it, hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. It's not much to it. But you hear the same stuff you've been hearing all day. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Questions? Demo. So I'm going to have two cameras running. This camera going to the top. And the one I'm going to be holding in my hand. The one at the top is just so when you're doing those exercises, even if you don't go to the top one, but the one right before it, I want you to see your wheel placement. And a lot of the times, the reason people don't make that turn is that it's too early. That's why we got to start the placement practice right here. Placement, hug them, commit. Clutch in the same spot. I'm just using the rear brake to control my speed. Placement, hug them, all the way to the top. Commit. Hold the turn. Hold it. Placement, hug them to the top. Commit. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Placement all the way to the top. Commit. No scraping. It's not necessary if you place the wheels properly. Use all the space. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Smooth stop. Let's do it. Abominable Snowman. Commit. Slow down a little bit, slow down a little bit. Also, his wheel placement was a little bit off, just a little bit. You gotta have it perfect. Go all the way to the top, all the way to the left, all the way to the top. Good. Watch your speed, watch your speed. Remember guys, we don't need to be going fast in here. Three things determine the radius. First thing is speed. Going too fast. All the way to the left, all the way to the left. Too early, too early. Too early. Placement, placement. Literally, that's the only issue. He gets that placement down, he's got that. Cover the rear brake. Got to do these things in order. Placement, hug them, go to the top, commit, turn. Clutch, open the clutch. Open the clutch. He's starting without the rear brake. Follow the first 5 steps. So he said he was skipping. Too early, kid, way too early. We got to practice the placement. Lean that bike, I don't want you doing it straight up. Need more speed. No. All right. We got to get that wheel placement down. Wheel placement. Good. Placement is early. All the way to the left. Too early. Wait. But guess what?
Did I hit a cone on the other one?
No. But you're too early in every circle.
Really? Oh, I didn't know. I thought I was in line.
Exactly. All the way over. Hug them, commit. Turn those bars, keep the clutch open, drag the brake. Good. Keep the clutch open, go around again. Trust and believe. Whoa. All right, we're going to the right turn first. All the way to the right, Mark, all the way. Hug them. Commit. All the way to the left. Placement. Ah, you're early. You can't be early up here, all the way to the right. Commit. All right, bonus time. Too early. I told you, practice the placement on every circle. Go all the way to the right. Better. All the way to the left. Oh, shit. All the way over, all the way. Too early. That's why this is so tight. You're turning too early. Hold that turn. Go around again. Forget about the other circle. Hold that turn. Good. All right, go in the other circle. All the way to the left. Never mind. You're lost. There we go. Placement. Practice it in every circle. Good. All the way to the right. Slow down. Good. All the way to the left. You're still early. All the way to the right. Get it in there, Mike. Hug those 2 cones to the top. Commit. Keep it loaded, baby. All right, bonus time. All right, guys, it's bonus time. To lean or not to lean, that's the question. That's what we're doing. For anybody that didn't make that successfully, what's the common denominator? What do you think?
Not entering in the right place.
Commitment to the turn for me.
No?
And keep it loaded.
Wheel placement. The first thing, placement, hug 'em, commit. Way off that first cone. And so again, like I said, I want you to practice it even in 27 feet, even if you don't need it. If you don't need it, doesn't matter. You won't be close to the other side of the turn, but I want you to practice the placement. Then when you get to the top, when now you're really starting to think about a whole bunch of stuff, you really think you're going to place it properly? No, way too early. All right, again, first world problems. But that's, and then so with Mike, when he did get the placement right, now the same thing, that's why all of these exercises build on one another. Mike's issue in the U-turn was not committing to the lean right away. And so when he gets up to the 18-foot circle, now he puts his wheels properly, he holds it to the top, commit. And that's the only reason you were in those cones. If you commit it right away, oh, please, that's easy. Easy. Again, first world problem, but I know you want it.
Yeah.
So it's coming, man. It's right around the corner. It's that simple. And yeah, I think it's just a bike. Yeah, of course, because again, well, when this is over, sit on your bike, just lock the handlebars, and then do the same thing on this and see if you feel the difference. Or we can even do it the other way. Have you done that? Where you put your bike on the line
Duck walked it
and then duck walk it? Where did it end up?
between 19 and 20 feet.
Exactly. Where this is ending up in 18. So it's the handlebars, period. All right. Bonus exercise, guys. Who's unfamiliar? To lean or not to lean? Watch, Jerome's going to be he's going to be that guy, come out of nowhere and beat everybody. That kind of stuff happens here all the time, man. Because some people's strength is leaning. They don't have any issue leaning. But when it comes to doing stuff straight up, that's where their weak spot is. So, we'll see. But all this exercise is, guys, hold on, I can't do it because this is going to. All right. I can't do it, man. My life would be so much easier if I could look past that. I just can't. All right. This is called to lean or not to lean. This is a best of 3. But obviously, with a best of 3, we don't need to get to 3. There's 7 cones here. That means the most you can get are 6. I'm giving you the first cone. Just don't hit it as you pass it. And people have hit it. One person square, just right into it because they were looking at it. Right? All right. These cones are 10 feet apart. It's called to lean or not to lean because you have to decide whether you're going to do this straight up or leaning or both. Because at the end of the day, if you're doing it straight up, you're coming back down here, it's the last round, you need 6 cones. And then you get right here, you're straight up, but you see you're not going to make it. You got to kind of let that bike dip. Add that extra element of lean to get that cone. So that's why it's called to lean or not to lean. As you're going down, I'm going to be counting your cones out loud. 1 cone, 2 cone. If you hit a cone, you're going to hear me say, that's it. That's it means that's it. Don't keep going. I got this and knocking all the cones down, right? Drives me crazy when people do that, all right? Any questions? I don't give any advice on this. I tell you, everything we've gone over today, apply it here, right? Only advice I give you is, you saw me do it, if you got highway pegs, fold them in, okay? Demo. I'm going to do it straight up, going down, leaning, coming back. These cones are still crooked. That's it. Mark is going first. Oh, we got some shade right at the time that he's going. 2 cones. That's it. You're looking at that cone the whole time. 1 cone. 2 cones. People have tried this, but see, it's going to get tight on them. 3 cones. It's an approach that many have tried, but it's flawed. If you go wide, you're just taking up more space. Because the key to this is you got to turn the handlebars back quick. See how long he's holding that? So even if he makes this one, 1 cone! Even if he made that one, he wasn't going to make the next one. Can't hold the turns too long. Holding turns buys you space and time. Not in here, you don't want it. 2 cones. 2 cones! All right, here comes the ringer. Jerome. I'm not going to tell him to cover the rear brake. I can't help him. Oh, he just did it. 1 cone. 2 cones. 2 cones! Keep it loaded, brother. 1 cone. 2 cones. 3 cones. 3 cones! All right, that's 1 cone. 2 cones. Too much speed here. 3 cones. 4 cones. All right, this makes more sense. 5 cones. 6 cones! Ringer! 1 cone. 2 cones. You don't want to be too far off these cones either. 3 cones. 3 cones! All right, shave off some speed here. 1 cone. 2 cones. 2 cones! It's 1 cone. 2 cones. That's it! 2 cones! Just took his foot off the brake, just put it back on. Yeah, he's done. 2 cones. 2 cones! 1 cone. See, he's wide. 2 cones. Good, came back in. 3 cones. 4 cones. 5 cones. 5 cones! Right now we're just doing it to do it. Mike already had it. He already has it. 3 cones. 3 cones! 3 cones! 1 cone. 2 cones. 2 cones! 2 cones! 1 cone. 2 cones. 2 cones! All right, guys, follow the lead of time. Let's do it.
Wake up, baby, all the stars are shining bright. Yeah, we should stay up so that we can look at them all night. Just keep holding me, don't let me go. Everything
All right, so the first question goes without saying, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Did you enjoy yourself?
Absolutely. Always.
Do you remember what you rated yourself when you first came out?
I think a 5.
Any change in that number? I don't want to get hit by a sandbag, just in
no.
case. Any change in that number?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so, huh?
Yeah, I think I'm doing 6.5, 7 maybe.
Yeah, I like 7 better than 6.5. Dude, what you're doing today, all you did today was prove a lot of stuff that I've said right, which is A, you're going to enjoy this whole riding a motorcycle thing way more when you actually get this skill. And yeah, you're going to be so Pete Shaw is well, hold up. Yeah, Pete Shaw is U-turn for North Carolina. You're going to be U-turn for South Carolina. Outstanding work,
I'll
man.
take it. Thank you very much.
Outstanding work. Keep it up. How you feel?
I'm well. Thanks for asking.
Good, good. Do you remember what you rated yourself when you first came out?
Yes, sir, I do.
What?
I rated myself at a 3.
Any change in your number? Now keep in mind, this is not about me or my ego. It's for you.
I think I did improve.
Mm-hmm.
I would, not being too what they call it, overconfident. I say about maybe up to maybe a 5 or 4.5, 4 to 5.
Okay.
5.
Okay. All right. Keep at it, man.
Yeah.
And you're local. You're a V.I.Preloader now. You need to make sure you're on my email notification list. If you're not, because that's how these notified. So, again, my wife put out the notification for the 4th anniversary practice session. That filled up in an hour.
Right.
Only people that are getting that first are the email notification people. So if you're not on it, it's the same thing. When you go to the description section of the video, there's a link for it.
Got
right?
it.
Add
No
yourself.
worries.
All right, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right, man. How you feel?
Good.
You enjoy yourself?
Yeah, definitely.
You remember what you rated yourself when you first came out?
I want to say a 5.
Any change in that number?
I'd say 6, 6.5 today.
Yeah, good, because you're not a 5, not at all. And again, at this point, I always say I look at people and I look at their skill, and once I see certain techniques, now it's just a matter of you fine tuning it. So, for instance, the top of that Snowman, leaning the bike's not an issue, none of that. You just have to place the wheel properly. Always a pleasure, man.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, man. This man's true to his word. I met him out in Florida at Bike Week, and he said he was moving to Georgia. He wasn't here yet. And he said, when I move to Georgia, I'm coming. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. Second time he's been here. All right. Did you enjoy yourself?
I did.
You remember what you rated yourself when you first came out?
A 5.
Any change in that number?
5.5 or 6 maybe.
Okay. But you're going to keep practicing, right?
Yes.
All right. I hope to see you back here again.
First time I came, this is my second time. First time I came, I couldn't hardly do any of these exercises.
Mm-hmm.
And I did most of them today, so I'm
Absolutely.
I'm happy with that.
Do you remember what practice session you were in?
It was early.
Oh, man.
Well, I don't know. I have to look back.
I love it when people know the number that they were in. That's always a good thing. Because I'm curious to see where you were and where you are.
Mm-hmm.
You said 117. 117. Pleasure, brother.
Thank you.
All right. Mike, my brother, how you feel?
Great. Love it.
Yeah, man. Anyway, you remember what you rated yourself when you first came out?
Between 6 and 7.
Any change in the number?
I still think it's probably under 7.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah. As far as I see, that committing to the lean right away,
Yeah.
that's the only piece missing. You get that, top of that Snowman's nothing.
And the one thing I still can't do with comfort is lock the bars. And so
Really?
there's a little bit of turn I'm losing. It's
Is
like
that
it's
so?
like a mental block on locking the bars.
That's exactly what it is, because, All right, well, it's a first world problem, but I know it's something you want to accomplish, so we'll keep at it.
I'll get there. I'll keep chasing Mark.
All right, all right, man. All right, guys, listen, that's going to do it for practice session number 117. It's a great day with a great group of guys. V.I.Preloaders, I appreciate them. I appreciate you guys for watching. If you're not subscribed to this channel, definitely do so. Don't be like Jerome and be a skimmer. Like, you got to watch these videos, because trust me, there's so many, because we all learn differently. I can tell you to watch something, and there's something in the video that I wasn't even intending to be a gym for somebody was a gym for you. That's why it's important to watch these things. And we all learn differently. We all watch differently. Some people have my videos as white noise. I know that. It's just playing in the background. They look at it every now and then. But believe it or not, stuff gets in there, especially if you keep hearing it. I say it all the time. Repetition equals retention. What we're doing out here is not rocket science. So you're not going to hear too many ways to explain it. But there's always more than one way to skin a cat. All right? My wife doesn't like that saying for whatever reason. Anyway, I didn't make it up. Listen, guys, as always, this is not a competition out here. It's not about being the best, but it is about being the boss. I'm talking about of your motorcycle. Spend more time being thankful for the things that you have and less time complaining about the things that you don't. Seat time does not equal practice time, guys. And if you have time to ride your motorcycles, you have time to practice on it. That's not my opinion. Until next time.